And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Brea Thorn, and I hope you're ready for some PC stuff tonight, because I'm not just talking about them, but we're going to be doing some building things. And I'm going to try to do it with my good mic instead of like the wireless one. So I have everything condensed here. Now, what are we doing? It's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. A while back, I told you guys I was selling a PC in the NZXT H6 Flow. It had certain specs, and this was prior to Computex. I was selling it to raise funds for Computex. Well, the viewer who bought it was like, "Hey, it's okay if you don't ship this to me now. I'll just Peter, I had to crouch down because of the awkward camera angle. I forgot that I had an automatic zoom into the close-up. So, anyways, yeah. So he was like, "Don't worry about shipping it to me now. Like, go on your trip." And he helped me fund the trip and everything by it. And basically, since then, we've gone through a slew of like minor upgrades all the way to now it's a full rebuild. So we're doing that here because I just got all the parts in. And yeah, I mean, it took a while to get all of this stuff sorted out. But yeah, here's a little preview, a little peek as to one little thing I added in there. Here, oh, it's not gonna do the thing. For him, yeah, that's one that was made by Dan, Ameridan, by the way. It's not the multicolored one, but this ended up kind of being a bit of a black and white build, but then not really. I'll explain. But first, I got to say hi to everybody. Sorry, Bergie, that you were so alone there in chat earlier. Y'all can't see it up here, but there are some very lonely messages there because I started late. Braxton, yes, welcome. And yeah, it was hot today. I did go outside a bit, do a couple things. But yes, and hello, Bergie, and hello, Peter. Brayatron 9000. See that? I feel like you did that on purpose with the misspelling, and that's fine. Ranger X3X, happy pre-weekend to you as well. John, welcome. What's up? Now, over in YouTube land, of course, you know that over on YouTube, when I have to schedule a stream, and it opens a chat right away. And there's sometimes people who will be there early, but I scheduled it for 8:30, and then I showed up like 20 minutes late. Sorry about that, guys. But Sailor X, how's it going? Steve, welcome. Eric Bergman, welcome. Although that's Bergie 5. Welcome in. And no, I did not get kidnapped, Sailor, but I appreciate the concern. Let's see. Toilet Wisdom, how you doing? And let's see. Braxton over on YouTube land as well. Thank you for being over there. Appreciate that. Chris Crawford, what's up? John Paul Bacon, hello, welcome. And Robert Fixit, how's it going? You spy RGB, oh yeah, illuminating the whole room here. So yeah, and also, what is up, Skeeter Gaming and Bears Beats and Battle Stars? What's up, Triple B? Pizza, Ranch, and Bray. Sounds like a decent combo. It is lit. Hey, Den, here's the thing. Look what else we've got from you here. One of the originals you sent me. I'm putting it in this PC. So, thank you for that. I've kept them very safe, kept them secret, kept them safe, and we are going to use it for a build tonight. It's already in there. So this isn't a full build from scratch. This is essentially, we are swapping out the CPU, motherboard, the storage. We are swapping out the RAM, adding in capture card. It's a lot of stuff. All right. But man, it is a hell of an upgrade, I'll tell you. So let's talk about what was in there before. I need that later. So this had the NZXT. There's a little white piece missing off of this. It's right over here. N7Z790 was in here with a 13900K, and you know, like it, you know, out of testing, it was running fine, and latest microcode and stuff. But of course, I was clear about like, hey, it's a 13900K, 13th and 14th gen, all that stuff. However, there were some little things about this motherboard that were bothering me, some inconsistency with the storage performance, and I thought maybe that it was a pin issue, things like that. Even though I had the contact frame on there, I was just like, look, I can send it to you like this. I don't really want to, or we can take this as an opportunity to just upgrade you to Core Ultra 200S. To be clear, this is not just a gaming PC. This PC is for gaming, streaming, content creation, video editing, AI workloads, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so there is there's good reason to go with the 265K that we're going with now. Because this doesn't break the bank, and it is a noticeable performance uplift in video editing in particular. What you get for the 20 cores and the performance that you get in video editing for the price is ridiculous and unbeatable right now in the market. And we're also upgrading the storage from, it was a, let's see, it was a 980 Pro, Samsung 980 Pro to the 2 terabyte to a 2 terabyte Samsung 9100 Pro to take advantage of the fact that we now have PCIe Gen 5 speeds. We'll go over the motherboard. This thing is a doozy. I actually talked about this one in last week's Tuesday stream. Now, what else we got? We have now an LGA 1851. What is it? Retention bracket, the mounting bracket, or the CPU contact frame, I should say. CPU contact frame for that. We have, instead of originally the PC was being sold with 32 gigs of RAM, we upgraded it to 64 out of a kit that I already had. Now it is going to a little bit more than that. 96 gigs of RAM. 92 gigs? Is 96? I forget what it comes out to. 92 gigs? Yeah. Anyways. Did they fill out a form? They did a while back. Yeah. I forget, is it 90? Does it come out to 92 or 96? Whatever. It's the 92 gigs, I believe. Of DDR5 6000 CL30. Really, really just ripping fast kit for the capacity you're talking about here. It's crazy. But yes, Bergie, they did fill out a form a while back. What's up, Zeno? How's it going? You should sell those fan covers as merch. I would get one that looks cool. I mean, yeah. The thing is, Bergie, like, you can't sell something like that for anything like that's a substantial enough amount to make for a profit to cover, like, I don't know, like, I would basically have to sell them at cost to sell them for the price I'd want to sell them at, unless I mass produce them like crazy. Yeah. I have some great news. Sales came up. Zeno, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's good. What are we talking about, though? Please elaborate. Virgil Alonso, what's up? Says pretty. I think you're talking about something. The motherboard, probably. So, what are we replacing the NZXT N7 Z790 with? I mean, clearly this is a very visually distinct motherboard. Well, we're replacing it with another that is just as visually distinct, if you ask me. But it has better features. So what we're replacing it with, I should actually probably just go to top down for this. Oh, I gotta hold on. We are replacing it with the MSI MAG Z890 Edge TI Wi-Fi. This is a white motherboard, and unlike the N7, this actually has a whitish grayish PCB to match the white build. It has good I/O that comes with 5 gig Ethernet, Wi-Fi 7, Thunderbolt 4, dual Thunderbolt 4. That's better than what you're getting on the N7 Z790. And there are fewer Type A ports on it, but this is going to allow us to put a PCIe USB add-in card. So we're going to do that along with the AverMedia. Well, of course, the shipping sticker covered the whole picture. The AverMedia Live Gamer 4K 2.1. This is currently my favorite capture card. This is what I use when I'm capturing a PC. And not only is this system going to be used for streaming just in general, like, it's not just going to be gaming on the system that's going to be streamed. It is also going to be PS5 gameplay that's going to be additionally streamed. So the fact that this has 4K 144 hertz variable refresh rate pass-through is awesome, and it captures up to 4K 60, I believe. So it's an absolutely monstrous capture card, and this motherboard will support that, plus the PCIe USB add-in card. So tons of I/O, awesome capture capabilities, and it has 5 M.2 slots on it. 5. And none of those will bifurcate or interfere with SATA or any of that. It is just pure bandwidth, man. It's awesome. This thing is a monstrous motherboard for like 350 bucks. And it's gorgeous too. So it's going to look really good in this build. Now, what are we not going to do in this stream? We're not going to like install, because I have to basically, because of this, because of new storage, I'm going to have to reinstall, put a fresh install of Windows, get all that going again. And we're not going to do that tonight. We're just going to do the physical build, see what it looks like. Maybe turn it on at the end. There's also, we added in another thing, and that was streamer cables. This is the 12V PWR version right here, or 12V 2x6. And these are the wireless ones. So there is no wire that comes off of these. It just gets power from the cable itself, and the USB, I got it like over there. The USB controller controls it wirelessly. Now, for your fans, I don't think the wireless RGB thing is a big deal, but for these, I think it's pretty nice. Sheesh, 5 M.2s. Oh yeah, we're also throwing in a 4 terabyte drive as well. A Kingston Fury Renegade 4 terabyte. So no slouch. This is not like, oh, that's my slower M.2. No, it's still over 7,000 megabyte per second sequential read speeds, yada, yada. Toilet Wisdom says, I filled out a form. Awesome. We're going to be doing the PC matchmaking as a later portion of this stream, just because, I mean, honestly, here's the thing, guys. I was going to be doing this off stream, but all of the parts came in like on time for me to do it as part of the stream. So why wouldn't I do that? I finally ruined my schedule enough to catch a stream. What's up, Anwar? How's it going? I understand if you can't make it very often. I mean, you're very, very far away. I totally get it. But I'm glad you're here. Gonna proceed to buying this weekend on my PC. Oh, got it. And the Taichi 9070 XT is barely just more than the Sapphire Pulse. I'm getting that GPU instead. Nice. That is a nice looking GPU for sure. This is a beast of a build. Good Lord. Yes. Is it 96? I keep getting that wrong. Yes, 96, not 92. I'm dumb. Lots of numbers and letters, okay? 5 a.m. right now. Onward, come on. No way. Oh, man. This is why I'm like, I actually have installed a world clock on my phone so that I can look at your local time, because I'm going to be, we're going to start messaging again regularly here. So, but I'm always nervous about it because I'm like, I don't want to wake them up or anything. Good thing I keep some pretty odd hours myself. What's up, Binary Theory? How's it going? Braxton says, great, build it. All right. I'm probably going to install Tiny 11 over Windows 11. You can just install Tiny 11 just by itself. It is Windows 11. Just scraped of all the bloat. No bloat on it. Toilet Wisdom says, I want a full water loop. I hope you have just like unlimited budget, because parts are already expensive, Toilet Wisdom. They're already, a lot of parts are still kind of overpriced. GPUs have become a lot more reasonable, at least. But yeah, there's no like, if you want a full custom loop, I hope that you are understanding that you're going to need to do regular maintenance on that. Are you prepared for that? It really doesn't serve a whole lot of purpose, except for very niche circumstances. Practical purpose, I mean. No worries, you can mess with me anytime. I'll adjust my schedule if we have some stuff to do. You got it. I would go Linux, but some of the games I play don't like Linux. That is still true. Toilet Wisdom says, yeah, 2,500 bucks. Okay, Toilet Wisdom. Most of that budget, like if you want a full comprehensive custom loop, it can be around $1,000 just for the liquid cooling stuff. Okay, yeah, no, don't bother with that. It's not worth it. It's an extravagance. I mean, even if, it's, yeah, no. If the budget is 2,500, you need to put all that towards performance, depending on what you're trying to do with it. It's not necessary these days, is what I'm saying. There's not really much room for overclocking in most hardware. Anyways, we're gonna get to this. It shouldn't take forever, but you know, I've been wrong about that before. Ooh, it didn't like that. My gimbal was hitting something. Not good. How about you just stay right there, and I'll be right back. And this is the USB wireless Lian controller. It does jut out a bit behind the PC, but what are you gonna do? I tried to see if there was a way to do internal USB for that, but all the internal USB headers are taken. Okay, so we have our 4 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade right there. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering what the GPU is that is in this system, it's the original one, because this is already a doozy. Gigabyte Aero 4080. Which is one of the most beautiful GPUs still on the market to this day. And the thing is, the question is always like, hey, should I spend the extra to get the latest and greatest? But I would say not before the super cards come out. You know, like, why do that then? Basically, if you hold off and you do something like a 5070 Ti Super, you are getting that boost up to 24 gigs of VRAM, and you're getting DLSS 4.0. You're getting all the stuff. Well, actually, there's no 24 gig VRAM card. There's a 32. But I mean, you know, that or hold off and save up for a 90 class card eventually, because you know this viewer is doing AI workloads. But what we have here is a foundation for a card like that later on, where it's going to be able to do everything really remarkably well, and we have a 1200 watt power supply in there, which is an NZXT C1200, one of the more recent ones, so it can fully support a 5090 or whatever its equivalent is going to be. Tough, what's going on? Welcome, and Skeeter, thank you for the lurk. Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Bone Shock, same to you. Angry Beaver, what's up? Gary Lee Laster, what's going on? How's it going? I forgot to get Tangia going. I'm sorry. I'll have it for Sunday. But if you want to come to the gaming stream on Sunday or Tuesday. Okay. Got a full kit for $550. I got the GPU. You have the Aqua XTX 7900 XTX OC. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's something that if you just say you want a full loop and I don't have that information yet, then I'm going to basically caution you against that, because the only information I had was I want a full custom loop and I have $2,500 for the whole PC. I'm going to be like, we need to talk. Naturally. Okay. I will say I was less prepared for this than I normally would like to be, because I was like, let's just do this on stream. Yay. But what are you going to do? Now, this does come with a flash drive, and I don't know if this has drivers on it, but after the stream, I'm just going to download a fresh BIOS and install that. This is just a key for installing the M.2 standoffs. These are the M.2 standoffs, extra ones, but you don't need them. All these have the easy latch things in them on the motherboard. Yeah, it's just cables, things like that. So we can leave all those in there. And this has the Wi-Fi antenna, which is a very, very beefy Wi-Fi 7 antenna with like a crazy big base to it. It has these quick connects on it. which is great because the first round of current gen motherboards that came out from MSI did not really feature that for the Wi-Fi, and now they have their own equivalent of that. So we're going to take this and just use the box as our little building station here. Pretty standard stuff. Do we have a command for these specs? No, this was a very last minute thing. Binary theory. Very last minute. Look at that freaking board. What a handsome motherboard. It's gorgeous. I think I'll save some of the peels for once it's placed inside, so it minimizes the cleanup I have to do afterwards. But this has some... Wait, what? Braxton says, what the heck? I just tried to update my subscription and it got an email said I canceled it. Oh, Braxton, I forgive you. It's okay. It's all right. Finally got discharged from the hospital, Gary. You know, it's funny. I saw your name. I mentioned the Tangia thing, and then I didn't actually read your chat. But congratulations on getting discharged from the hospital. That is very cool. CPU, GPU, and CPU only for loop. Yeah, Toilet Wisdom, that's typically what you put in a custom loop. Yeah, but like you're asking when we're going to do the matchmaking. As I mentioned earlier, we're doing this first, which is not a normal thing for the stream, but we're doing this first. Then we're doing the PC matchmaking. So one thing I love about modern motherboards is stuff like that. It's just a little... to unlatch it. And these sort of hook in right here. It's beautiful. And then for this one here, you've got this one, that little press thing right there. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 M.2 here, and then of course a Gen 5 M.2 right there. It is redonkulous. So our Kingston Fury Renegade is going to go right in here, and I don't think I can leave that because this is a thick, it's 4 terabytes. That's a pretty thick M.2. No, it fits just fine. Actually, no, it is bending it. Do I need to remove this? Oh, I may be able to squish it down a little bit. I'll get used to being a little lower. Bobby Cook, what's going on? Hey, Brav, that's a new one. My games be stuttering and stuff. I have 9070, 9000X3D, 32 gigs RAM. Okay, well, I'll tell you, this isn't really a troubleshooting type of stream because that's still not enough info for me. But you would want to basically try running something like Hardware Info 64 to sort of track and see if you're getting if you're having issues with thermals, if you are thermal throttling, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and there's a lot of different problems it could be. If I'm just here building something, I would just be guessing, and that's not very helpful for you. My suggestion is I would recommend going to the Discord and creating a forum post in the Tech Questions forum. We have some volunteer techies there who are very, very awesome, very good at what they do, and they can maybe brainstorm with you what that could possibly be. Now, one thing, some of the things I don't know that could be important. Was that a pre-built? Did you build it yourself? If it was a pre-built, have you done the correct thing and immediately contacted the system integrator to let them know of the issue and have them try to walk you through some solutions? That is the best thing about getting a pre-built is you have that. You have that as a feature. They are supposed to give you tech support and help you out. No, I guess that is just supposed to sit there. It's not really deforming it or anything. Sitting just fine on there. So then, of course, we want to remove this plastic right here to cool this M.2 drive here. But we're going to go ahead and get this one first. What's up, Zintech? How's it going? All the VRMs. Oh, yeah. But of course. So this also is, I am going to be selling a few more PCs over the next few months. And this is also to give you an idea of what I can do. If you look at one of those and you're like, oh, but I wanted to have this. I want to have, if you're willing to pay for upgrades, I'll just do the upgrades for you. That's totally fine. Zach's Tech Turf is live right now. Cool. Thank you for telling my chat that another streamer is live. Zach's cool. We're cool. I'm cool with Zach. But he does a lot of this same stuff. So, and he does it more often than I do. That's for sure. We got to remove this here. I usually just help other people find PCs. The building thing, he does more than I do, or he does do some gaming as well. That is our 2 terabyte PCIe Gen 5 drive right there. Now this has passive cooling on the bottom and along the top here. You see we have this thermal pad right there. So this should stay pretty cool. But no, Zach is cool. Zach's a bud. He's a good guy. He's actually rated a few times. He's like, hey, everybody, guess who else is live and better at this? Because it's true. He is better at building than I am. He's done it more times than I have because he has a system integrator business. I have a video where I scrutinized some of the builds and had some constructive criticism. And you know what Zach said? He's like, hey, thanks for the feedback. We're actually taking this to heart, right? You know, and they made some changes. I took issue with the motherboard they were using for a certain build, along with a 512 gig drive, because that motherboard only had the one M.2 socket, and it was getting a 512 gig drive. It was one of their most budget systems, but like, if you go a few dollars higher, just a few dollars higher, you would get a motherboard with a secondary M.2 socket, and they could have a 4 terabyte drive there if they want, which would make it totally fine then. But yeah, that was, but he was like, oh yeah, no, then they changed it. They did change that. I want to say some barbecue tonight. Had some brisket, coleslaw, and baked beans. Nice. So I wasn't here at the beginning. What piece are we rebuilding? Skeeter, this is a PC that I sold to a viewer, a community member, and they, you know, we eventually took our time working our way around to some upgrades. This is a PC that I built live on stream a while back, actually. It's the H6 Flow. So if you go to the channel and you search H6 Flow, you can watch that original build, actually. Look at that. 6 terabytes in here now, with 2 of them being at like 14,500 megabytes per second, PCIe Gen 5. And then this is at the peak of PCIe Gen 4 right here, and it's 4 terabytes. So 6 terabytes already, and you can fit 3 more drives. You could put 24 terabytes more M.2 storage in here because they make 8 terabyte drives. This thing is ridiculous. And it is not like, I mean, it's like $100 cheaper than the ProArt motherboard, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. Just click that in. And we remove this guy right here. And these hook in to these 2 posts right here. So you just visualize that, sort of position it, and then push down here. And we're set. There we go. Storage installed. Also, this thing does have a 7-segment display. Love to see it. Now, what is the PCIe layout? The PCIe, what does the little block diagram tell us? Do any of them turn off if you hook up SATA SSDs? Binary theory? No. As a matter of fact, none of the 5 M.2 sockets affect either the X16 slot to make it X8 or whatever, nor do they affect any of the 4 SATA ports that you have on the side here. Also, by the way, if you're looking at this being like, what, it doesn't have front panel USB Type-C? It's right there. Right there. And $350. This thing's $350. Your 1400K PC rebuild next? I would love to, actually. I might just get the same stuff. Now, we do need to talk about the rear I/O because I like copious I/O. And this is good at 9 USB Type-A ports, but there are certain gigabyte motherboards that had like 12, whatever, right? But this is very good, and most of them are fast. 10 gigabit per second times 4, right? 4 of those. And then you have 5 gigabit per second plus 1 USB 2.0 for a mouse or headset. I put the mouse and keyboard, mouse or keyboard. I put mouse and keyboard right here. If you do end up installing a PCIe add-in card for more USB ports, remember, don't plug your peripherals into that. Plug other stuff into it. Because if you're trying to wake your PC from sleep with a peripheral like a mouse or keyboard that's connected to a PCIe card, it's not going to wake the PC because that slot is asleep. So Wi-Fi 7, dual Thunderbolt 4, and then you have a 10 gigabit per second Type-C in addition right there. Yeah, plus you have your BIOS flashback, clear CMOS buttons right there. You have SPDIF, and you have mic in, line out, and yeah, your Wi-Fi 7. And 5 gig Ethernet, baby. There you go. We don't say the words future-proof around here, but if we did, maybe. Alrighty then. Now, we got to get rid of this. We got to get the ILM off of there so we can install the contact frame, CPU and contact frame. So, Bobby, you said you built it yourself. Okay, well, first, good job on building a PC yourself. But honestly, that means that, you are your own tech support at that point. And the best solution to, like, if you want someone to really be able to help you out, they need to be hands-on with your PC and be able to look into it and mess with it. And you need to really trust somebody to let them into your PC. So I would suggest installing Hardware Info 64 and recording some of the performance, or just look at the maximums, see if you're thermal throttling on your CPU or your GPU. Look at your thermals. I know nothing about your PC other than 3 of the components. That's it. I don't know what kind of case it is. I don't know if like your power supply is up to the task of powering a 9070. Maybe you have a 500 watt power supply in there. I have no idea. Yo, Chase, what's going on? Sorry, I missed the beginning of the stream. That's who this is for right here. Binary Theory, 285K. Why? Why do a 285K? 265K is just about as good for like a couple $100 less. So that is what we have here, a 285K. Yeah, Chase, I just put in the 4 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade right there, and your 2 terabyte Samsung 9100 Pro right there. And you still have 3 M.2 sockets available to you, which is crazy. Get yourself 3 8 terabyte M.2 drives later, and you can add an additional 24 terabytes to this 6 terabytes you already have. Think about that. It's crazy. Also, all of these are quick release. But yeah, Chase Wheels right there is the person who purchased this PC and has been very patient through the process of it being sort of replanned out and rebuilt. If you're going to be using something for years, make sure it's right. Little thing I didn't really mention to you, a little surprise for you there, is I got an LGA 1851 CPU contact frame to make sure you're getting the best and flattest contact with your cooler. Cooler in question here is an NZXT Kraken Elite 360 in white. They're quick release. That's good to know. Yes, both the covers and the M.2 drives themselves are quick release. To be honest, I don't like big streamers. Like, from the 786 people in the stream, would you see my text? That is something that I've thought about. There were times where we would have triple digits people when I was just doing Twitch, and that was like a year and a half ago, a couple of years ago actually. And then I took a 9-month hiatus, and that really kind of killed that momentum. But it was a little hard to keep track of chat at that point. So that's going to replace the ILM that is already there, because these ILMs, these are notorious. Did this have the... Yes. But I'm glad you got my email to come by. Oh, let me get the CPU ready because you don't want your pins to just be exposed like that. So basically, once you remove the ILM, put your CPU gently down on top of those pins, and then you can install the contact frame. Shame it could not be white to match the build. Alucard, it's under the cooler. Who cares? And the cooler is white. That's why when Alucard, that's why when Height showed me their colored contact frames, including a purple one, and they were like, purple? You like purple, Bray? And I was like, no one's ever going to see that except for a few seconds. Like, it's not on display. Unless you get a pure acrylic CPU block or something. Come to think of it, that might be kind of cool, actually. Anyway. Yes, this is fresh, sealed, 265K. I've said this many times, but this is actually, on the high end, the best value on the market right now. Yeah, but it still matches the aesthetics, though. Aesthetics are, by definition, something that is seen. Alucard. Agree to disagree on that one, and that's totally fine. Like, I get that. That's like the Steve Jobs idea of even the parts that can't be seen need to be beautiful. And that guy, in many ways, was a genius. So, like, and I'm not talking about the parts that should be credited to the Woz. It matches the RAM slots. It does. You're right, BC Murray. Thank you. Off the top, do you remember what frame you would use for a Z690 motherboard? Yeah, one for an LGA 1700. Socket LGA 1700. It would say like 12th gen, 13th gen, 14th gen. Those are all interchangeable. Chase, I have to figure out, by the way, how I want to pack this thing for you. Because if I want to send you all the boxes for like the new stuff, which I like to do if I can, it's going to be a big box. Because there's also the PC box. Or the other option is I just put a box around the original case box that is just a little bit bigger for some foam or something. But then I can't put like, you know, the motherboard box in there. I just have to take everything from it and put it in a baggie or something. But I'd like to be able to send this. I wish I had the original box for the GPU. I don't, unfortunately. So we have our CPU here. Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. You got that quick sync going on for your Adobe Premiere Pro. You got 20 cores, 8 of them being performance cores. Basically, this thing is only 4 efficiency cores shy of the Core Ultra 9 285K. This is a very precarious operation right here. We got to be kind of careful with this. We don't want to drop anything onto those pins. Put a box around the box and then put that in the box. Oh, yeah? Okay, just like that. Is it recommended to get a motherboard with a flash BIOS button on it? Yes. Now, if something happens during a BIOS update, that might not help you. You need to make sure if you're doing a BIOS update that you have some kind of power redundancy, an uninterruptible power supply. Yeah, a surge protector is not going to help you because it cannot lose power during one of those. You don't want that to happen. Oh, I should have removed the... I should have opened it so there was no tension, but that's okay. This is where it's delicate. It's where we got to be careful. This is like the only time where I worry about having essential tremors, but just make sure you got our little arrow there. Yep. And our little arrow is there. Yes. This is typically how it's going to go. You just lay it on there, 0 insertion force. And it should fit absolutely perfectly, just like that. There is very little wiggle. Little to no, you might say. Little to no wiggle. And then this just fit. What the difference is, what is the purpose of a contact frame, by the way? I suffer with bad tremors too. It sucks, right? Is it possible to zoom in on the arrow? Not at this point. I wasn't going to be messing with the camera binary theory while the pins were exposed. So yeah, let's talk about this. Why, now that that's covered, right? It's not screwed in, but it's covered. The only thing putting any pressure on your CPU with the typical ILM is these 2 points right here. I don't even think, maybe a little on the top and bottom, but no, it's just mostly these two things right here. With this, the pressure is completely even all around the IHS, so the integrated heat spreader. It is very, very nice. What did I do with the little... There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this until the threads lock. Okay, so that's in there. And just start them off and then turn them like a few turns each in a star pattern, basically. Make sure that there's no more pressure on any one side of it. Though with LGA 1851, newer contact frames were designed to where you don't have to have as precise of an installation as you did with LGA 1700. And you don't want to over tighten this. There we go. Just like that. It's done. All these X motions make a square. True. The frame is there to highlight the center text of the chip. It's for better contact with all the pins, better contact with the cold plate of the cooler, which yes, Urkzilla for better heat dissipation. What's up, Urkzilla? How's it going? By the way. Easy peasy break. Come on, bro. Hey, come on. Hello, everyone, including Bray. Thank you, Empire of Noise. So this hardware is all going into the motherboard box. Like, you don't want to lose this. And I'm going to put it into this baggie right here, which is where the contact frame came from. It should fit. Oh, don't drop that. That's fine. It's okay. This thing is like a couple grams. It's fine. Look, I'm just channeling a little bit of Linus right now. And you do not want to lose this, although it doesn't work with the contact frame. If you put your original ILM on there and you don't have a CPU in there, you need to protect those pins. It even tells you to keep it. Just like I just told you to keep it. And generally, if you're building something, you're getting new parts fresh in the box, keep the boxes for RMAs in case you need to send back a motherboard, some RAM, some whatever. Speaking of RAM, we're going to go ahead and install that now. That's weird. This is one of those things where you only have one side that has the clips, and they're on the bottom this time. That is interesting. But I think it makes more sense, actually. Because when you have your system and your motherboard installed with a radiator on the top, that's way hard to reach. But also, you have your CPU power here. So this would maybe obstruct that. It makes sense. Interesting. Okay. And this, of course, right here is nice for your CPU. Keep that in the original box as well. I shouldn't have put that whole thing away, but I can. Why did I cut it on this side? I cut it on this side. I should have cut it on this side. Oh well, whatever. Same difference. Huh? Okay, wait, what? I'm gonna say Alucard is wrong on principle. Oh. Wait, what? Okay, I thought I actually did say something wrong. Didn't think so yet. I like the yet. Double yet right there. So this is simple. Just it suspends in here by you just sort of pulling those little tabs out right there and right there. That lets you fold that up, and then your thing sits in there like so. Is it this way? No, it's that way. Is it? No, it's this way. There we go. There we go. Fold those in again. And then this just goes right back into the box. And that's where the CPU would have been. Besides, like, you want to keep these because if you have a shelf, you just put that right on the shelf right there. You know, show off your stuff. Although right now, there's just this, like, plague of bad sentiment towards Intel, and it's driving me crazy at this point. Like, they earn it. They're earning it in certain ways. But it's in the way the corporation's been being run. But, like, people are missing out on something like an incredible deal like the 265K, which is crazy. You're pretty shaky, Bray. Are you okay? I guess you missed the part where I was talking about having essential tremors. It's a condition that I have. It's fine. By the way, I actually had to argue with someone about this in a stream chat at one point. It is still the second and fourth slots from the CPU that you want to install your RAM on. That is still what you want to do. And there's these things right here, and you have a keyed cutout in the RAM. You want to match that up and insert your RAM. And this is 96 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL30. When it comes to, now this is fast, but also it's really high capacity. When it comes to video editing, capacity is king. There we go. Right in there. Now, this kind of matches the build because you have the black and silver look. I mean, it's kind of perfect. I'm sorry, but that's freaking perfect, okay? That is the motherboard done. First, Dan, don't put misinformation in the chat, even if it's funny. Peter says anyone who does 1 and 3 should be put on a list. I had someone, the person I was arguing with was arguing so hard for 1 and 3. This was in Manly Review's PC build stream that he did because he just recently rebuilt his streaming PC. Do RAM wiggle test? I mean, it's really not moving hardly at all. This is a really nicely built motherboard. Okay. What else we got to do before I can put it in there? I think that's it, actually. Like I said, this is not the whole stream. This is just part of the stream. Now, what kind of thermal paste am I going to be putting on there? None other than KPX is going in here. As a bit of blasphemy, I'm going to be using a Splave spatula. Sorry, Alan. But the tube that you gave me of a thermal paste, I used it on this PC, but on the previous CPU, and it didn't have enough for another application. John Paul Bacon says, Brayathorn, looks like the RAM is in the wrong set of slots. We just talked about this, John. We just talked about it. It is 2 and 3. 2 and 4. Second and fourth slots. That is where you put your memory if you're putting 2 sticks. And if you're doing DDR5, you should only be putting 2 sticks of RAM unless you get dummy memory, which Kingston doesn't make that. But if you get like Corsair RAM and a couple other brands, they make RAM sticks that have no memory in them that slot in the empty spots there just to make it look uniform and provide more RGB. That's not a necessary thing. It's not a thing. But no, these are the correct RAM slots, the second and fourth from the CPU. 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. Best way to know, read RTFM. And the manual will tell you if you're doing 2 ram sticks, you do it like this. Everything is secure. Everything is installed. I guess we'll take off a couple of peels here. There we go. I'm not going to take off the big one. Well, I guess it might get caught under something if I don't. Okay. I've called out SIs for not removing peels. I ain't about to be caught in 4K being a hypocrite. But it's usually just the shiny parts where you're going to have it, except for the VRM cooler here and the IO shield here, or the IO housing that has a lot of it just all over. But let's go ahead and do this piece by piece. I like the transparent plastic right here. I'm seeing that used in more electronics, and it makes me happy. Oh, it's kind of trapped under there. Look at this piece of art. MSI killing it, man. The only thing that I think that they need to now improve on is all of these plastics, here. Gigabyte has it down to where they're making all of those white. It's a fully uniform thing. But with the way we're doing this, you remember how I had that fan cover, that fan grill that has a black and white for our RGB, our little guy right there. Okay. Because we're just accepting on this one, there's going to be a few black accents in the build, basically. Anton, appreciate that. Thank you very much. 26 in chat, only 15 likes. Thank you. V-Color has dummy RAM. Yes, as does Corsair. And Corsair makes it, I think, for all of their RAM that comes with RGB. And they have a few models. And it's so weird. Like, people have fake testes implanted in their poor neutered dogs. Why would they do that? Fun fact, in the absence of RGB, you need to use a mortar trowel for premium spread of your CPU icing, thereby increasing your cold start RPMs by at least 32%. Angry Beaver, that got worse the more I read it. Good job. Alucard, I usually remove the peels at the end to avoid prints along the build process. It's okay. It's okay. Because it's only a few shiny parts. Most of this is matte finish or satin finished. It's okay. MSI I think is second best for white motherboards behind Gigabyte. Yeah. Although, to be fair, Asus is catching up, finally. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way so that we can get our PC case in place. Well, that was, but sure. I do need to plug this thing in, so give me a second. I almost made a big mistake. Oof. I almost mounted the motherboard without putting the AIO retention bracket behind it. It's right here, so I kept everything together, and it protects the cold plate from any bumps. But yeah, I almost left that on there and put the motherboard in. That motherboard would have had to come right back out. How long did it take for Build Redux to send you the PC you tested? I ordered mine on the 6th. Cal YT. That was a really long time ago, so I do not remember that kind of minute detail. But I feel like you have better options now. Build Redux regressed and went towards an approach that I'm not really a fan of. Whereas they promised me at the time they were going to be doing the exact opposite. Not very cool. Very not cool of them. Not very cash money of them, as you might say. If the people still say that, I don't know. So this is just the retention bracket here. I would just this part goes behind, this goes in front of the motherboard. So I keep everything together like that. Whenever I am temporarily taking something out or whatever, it just keeps keeps stuff from getting lost. I like to peel as I go, but then I get sad when I have no peels left. What's up, Ty? What's up, Rutu? How's it going? I think I need to raise my mic up a little bit. There we go. Gigabyte Stealth, Mobo, or Chef's Kiss. Alucard, they got too comfortable. Oh, yeah, you were saying Asus used to be top dog for motherboards back in the day. My problem with Asus motherboards is that they put just basic stuff like I/O behind a paywall. It sucks. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. There we go. And then this will retain it right here. It'd be great if Asus re-released their Ava and Gundam PC builds with new parts. Yeah, well, here's the thing. They did Unit 1. They did Unit 2. They need to do Unit 0, which is white and blue. Like white and like a light blue. It would be sick. Okay, so cool. That's on there. Sorry I wasn't really showing you, but now we have the bracket officially on. And yeah, this is just a really clean motherboard, man. It's just super clean. I guess that'll have to do. Stop. Okay, there we go. Mic's going to be a little bit off of where it's optimal placement for a little bit. This is why I use the wireless head-worn microphone. Cal YT just bought a Build Redux. Got a Ryzen 5070. Hopefully it's good because he's shipping to delivery times are low-key. Of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really looked at them for a while. Once they made their change, I'm like, eh. Imagine a 0 with a 5090. The whole thing would be a beast. and 0. Got lucky my local Micro Center was overstocked on everything, but by the time I decided to go in, others heard about it. When is Asus doing Ghost in the Shell theme PC? Well, see, that's the thing. If you do the Unit 0 one, it's almost like the same aesthetic. Get the sort of white and kind of bluish color. Although I think Ghost in the Shell would be more like white and black. White with black accents, but I don't know. I mean, you kind of get that anyway. Yeah, Intel shops themselves in foot, then Ryzen took the top spot. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, Intel still released a great product and then put it at a really great price over a little bit of time. And it's like, I feel like I'm the only one acknowledging this. Although some have been like, it might be a good deal. You might, everybody who has mentioned the great deal that is the 265K, because they spent so long talking crap about it, they now have to freaking tiptoe through the tulips, trying to let their audience know, like, yeah, maybe I'm going to walk back on all that crap I said. Maybe it's a great deal. It's okay. Maybe you consider. No, it's freaking awesome. If you're doing anything other than just gaming, it's kind of like the great way to go if you don't really plan on upgrading your CPU down the line. If you're like, this is what I'm going to have in there, and that's what's going to be in there. There is going to be a refresh of Arrow Lake. There's going to be an Arrow Lake refresh, and I don't know what they're going to do with that. Just some better frequencies, maybe. But they already did that with like the BIOS setting boost that you can get. Anyways. Hail? All right, hold on. It's because I had my Osmo Pocket 3 there. Are you good? Okay. I put all my, I have a box of just PC screws, but I misplaced them. So put most of the motherboard screws in right now and then just put the last couple afterwards. I'm just going to route the 8-pin EPS CPU power cable real quick. Of course, I had meticulously done all the cable management, and I had to undo a good amount of it just for this. So now I got to redo all that. All right, stop getting in my freaking way. It just wants to be in the way of the one freaking, that one standoff. All right, you're just, stop it. Fine, I'll just have to fish it out later. Jesus Christ, that's annoying. All right. Oh, I know. Here, let's do this. That's fine. There we go. How much toilet wisdom? I need to. I don't know if I should remind you of this. PC Matchmaking is free help. I don't know when I'll be done. It's free help, so it's not like guaranteed. In fact, it says if you read at the beginning of the form, submitting the form during a stream does not guarantee you that you get help during that stream, but you get your place in line to get help. I needed to do this, so I figured I'd share it with chat. And most of my chat loves it when I do PC building stuff. So just relax. It's again, I know I don't know if it's a crazy time over there. Like if it's really late or something, you might have mentioned that. But I don't have any control over what time zone you are in. And it is free help. Whereas other content creators do this kind of consultation for, I don't know, $200 or more. I just offer it to everybody for free. So that you can imagine, I don't like to be rushed. And you are just asking, but you are asking, you know, it's once I told you, hey, we're going to do the build first, that should be the end of that discussion. Now I'm stopping in order to respond to you, which is pushing it back a little farther. Okay. Now, we're not going to be doing is turning this on, running testing, stuff like that, installing Windows. That would take a while. We're not doing that. I just wanted to share this upgrade with you guys to sort of showcase what I can do if I'm selling a PC and you're like, oh, well, I have this need or this want. I want to do these upgrades. If you're willing to pay for upgrades, then I'll do that. And there you go. That's what this is. I'm doing that for a that fits like a glove. I love it. All right, there we go. Of course it fits. It's ATX, but you know what I mean. Okay. Let's get these suckers in here. I don't know if, yeah. See, this fits like perfectly with the extension. Now this you don't want to tighten down yet, just putting in your first couple screws, because you're might need to do a little micro shifting of it, moving it around. No white cable extensions or something for the CPU, Bray? You must have missed you're looking at it. It's literally right here. Oh, for the CPU? No. That's gonna be all you'll be able to see is that. That's fine. You're barely going to see it. I thought you meant just white cable extensions in general. I'm like, yeah. No reason to buy that. Wait, you can't even see me. What the hell? Hello? Camera. Hi. Yeah, please show the messiest part of the room. Thank you, camera. It's okay. It's a pretty new system I just put in there, so. Binary Theory, this is not a build from scratch. This is an upgrade build. I'm upgrading a PC that I built a while back. Because someone bought it, but we ended up, long story short, we ended up doing basically a whole rebuild of it. Use the wrong size screws or what? I might have picked the wrong size screws. My bad. 1 second. How about you stay right there? I'll be right back. Okay? Thank you. Okay. This had fallen on the floor. I guess I missed that happening. So that's all my PC building screws. Other than I have, okay, to be fair, I have like a whole set of drawers that has like hundreds of PC building screws, but that I don't have room for in here. So yeah, there you go. You can just get a kit like this on Amazon for a few bucks. What's up? How's it going, Mikey? How's it going? Okay. Dude, this motherboard is awesome. What case is this again? H6 Flow. Nerduino. Hold up. Nerduino rating with a party of 41. Let's go, nerds. What is going on? Welcome, Raiders. Alucard, can I get a shout out for Nerduino? In chat's !SO, then @ and start typing their name. It'll do the rest. What's up? Welcome. We're doing an awesome PC build here right now. PC rebuild. But yeah, hope y'all are doing good over there. How was your stream? What were you doing? Here, I'll do the shout out real quick. Playing Science and Technology. What were we doing? Science and Technology is my favorite game. Am I going crazy right now? All right. Oh, you're good, man. It's all good. Stream was great. Spent a lot of time talking about the new discovery of a companion star for Betelgeuse. Nice. Long suspected, but finally imaged. Very cool. Is that a clear plastic strip on the left hand of the dragon logo supposed to be there? I believe so, Mark. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, but yeah, clear plastics are making their way back into style. But let me just, oh, snap. Okay, all right. Braxton1823 just gifted 10 tier 1 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. That is a tier 1 sub for Parker Freeman 20, Angry Beaver 316, Kishida God, Linked Up 5, Vincent Dealnikar, Nightly Tears, Elusins, Anastiax, well, that name, Cardinal Red X, and BH Fink. Welcome to the swarm. But also, let me say hi to a few people who came in for the first time chat. Steph LRX, welcome. Designed by Dave, welcome in. And yeah, you guys, click that link, drop a follow for Nerduino, please. Like I just did. So you do, so let me guess, do you do a lot of space stuff, by the way? Is that, gonna grab some tea and such? All right, Nerduino, take time, go take a break. Take a screen break, do whatever you got to do. Thank you for trusting me with your community. We're just going to be finishing up this build here, this rebuild of a PC, and then we're going to be doing some PC matchmaking. And that's what I normally do Tuesdays and Thursdays. PC matchmaking is where people who need help finding the right pre-built or parts list for a DIY PC build, and they need help with that, they come in, they fill out a form, tell me what their budget is, what they're going to use it for, and a bunch of little details like that. And then I help them find the right PC or parts list for free, or put together a parts list for free. It's a lot of fun, and that's what I do normally on Tuesdays and Thursdays, unless I'm doing a pre-built unboxing and testing in a stream, or the gaming streams that I do just on Sundays. They wanted to give it an Arabic name, I think. Alec Marco. Yeah, I have a PhD in astronomy, so we focus on space and astronomy, and also Earth and climate. Should I call you Dr. Nerduino? I'll do it. Watch me. Worked at NASA for about a decade. Okay, that's cool. You are more than welcome here, my friend. That is very, very cool. I've done nothing as interesting as that. I promise you. I just yell about computers a lot. I try to help people who are new to PCs get into PCs, because PCs are pre-built PCs are the best gateway to PC DIY and all that, I feel. But I really appreciate you trusting me with your community. And yeah, absolutely. I know what it's like to end a stream and to do a raid. You go and take yourself a break, grab your tea and such. If that's your, I only make the credit card company call me doctor. Fair. I love astronomy. Probably know 2 more things about astronomy than I do PCs. I would say for me, it's 2 fewer things about astronomy. I'm having a heck of a time. I'm probably going to replace all of these standoffs. They're not grabbing right on these screws for some reason. So I have standoffs. I can replace them. That's why it's good to have extra things. That one did just fine. Okay. All right, cool. Just double checking. Gary Lee Lasher says, "Ooh, LTT screwdriver." Yeah, I got a few of those. This is the custom one. This is the one that I made myself at LTX 2023. When I went there as a content creator. And I also got to make a pink one for Ari then too. So yeah, okay. I guess I just had the wrong screws. Let me try it on a couple other ones of these and we'll see. Such a shame they should have done like Lydia for the TV film nerds. Yeah, that would be funny. Are you getting the transparent one? I'll probably ask them to send me one. Now that they're set to sponsor the rebuilt. Did I just drop a screw? Oh no! Look at that! Look at that powerful magnetism on the shaft extension there. Hell yeah! We're just testing out a couple of these, making sure this is threading properly. Feels like it's fine. Okay. Yeah, there we go. In PC building, there are a couple of screws that look very similar, but the threading is just a little different, and that's what I was using. Yo, PC Tech Hustle over on the YouTube side of things. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Let's go, nerds. PC Tech Hustle said, hey, Brayathorn, first time joining one of your streams. Love your content. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, this is not my typical stream. I'm not doing the PC matchmaking yet. We're doing that later. I'm currently just doing this PC upgrade for someone who bought this PC that I built on stream a while back, and we're bringing it into 2025 with this upgrade and throwing in the unfortunately much underestimated Intel Core Ultra 265K. Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. Probably IMO, the best deal in PC hardware right now, especially if you're going to be editing video. Absolutely an awesome CPU. All these cables in the bottom are driving me crazy. Get out the way. You generally don't want to grab a motherboard by the RAM like that. There we go. Now they're out of the way. And there we go. All right. What's up, Araxinus? How's it going? Welcome. But yeah, PC Tech Hustle, I appreciate that support, that super chat, and I appreciate you coming by to hang out. The fun thing about doing PC matchmaking, though, that's something that you might want to come by for sometime, is that it is basically practical application of sort of figuring out what works for different purposes, for different builds. Like, oh, you need to edit video. This is what's best for that. You just want to game, but you want to game in 4K. Well, then you don't need X3D for most games. Yada, yada, yada. That kind of stuff it's good discussion. But also, we're helping people who need help with that. Going well, nice motherboard. This is probably my favorite LGA 1851 motherboard on the market right now. It is super nice. Again. Okay, well, that's just my problem, isn't it? You know those ones I said that are very close but have slightly different threading? I do believe I have them mixed together. So I'm just going to have to do some trial and error and see which screws actually thread properly. Good job past me. Way to go. Thank you for doing this to yourself, your future self, which is me now. Current me, if you will. And here I'm all proud of myself for having such organized PC case screws, PC building screws. Ty, the best part too is that he discusses things at different budgets and is honest about everything, which is very informative for people. Just don't waste his time, though. Well, my time is y'all's time. If you waste my time, you're taking the time of everybody who's waiting for their turn to get free help and all that. I take that personally. But yeah, time is that one thing that we just are never going to get back. You shouldn't waste it on waste mine or your own either. ENRF, what's going on? What PC are you building right now? I am doing a rebuild upgrade on a PC I built a while back. This is because somebody bought it and we decided to bring it into the year 2025. Oh my God. I am going crazy just trying to mount this freaking motherboard. I swear to God. I'm not bad at this. I've been building PCs for a freaking quarter of a century. There we go. Oh, if you did not see it, Bray, finished the Heritage Pro build earlier today. I only have 2 gripes with it. Mainly, they should have reversed the leather pattern so the larger side could be where the PSU connects to hide the cables. And no shroud to cover the PSU stickers to not be visible to you. I mean, you could make a shroud, I suppose, but nobody should have to do that. What was in this before? It was a 13900K, a 4080, and with 32 gigs of DDR5, 6000 CL30, and 2 terabytes of PCIe Gen 4 storage. Now it has a Z890 motherboard and the Intel Core Ultra 7 265K that it's just, I've already said enough about that, I think. It's going to have the same 4080 because, you know, we have imminent super cards coming out for 50 series. So no reason to spend a bunch on getting a 50 series card just yet. It's going to have that same 4080, which is a gorgeous Gigabyte Aero 4080. And it's going to have an awesome capture card. We upgraded the storage to 2 terabytes of PCIe Gen 5 in the Samsung 9100 Pro, plus 4 terabytes of Kingston Fury Renegade in another M.2 for mass storage. This is going to be a system for video editing. And because of that, this motherboard's perfect because after those 2 drives, there's still 3 more M.2 sockets available. So you can add 3 more M.2 drives without bifurcating your PCIe lanes on the GPU slot, without interfering with SATA slots, SATA ports if you want to install a SATA SSD or high capacity spinning hard drive. 5 gig Ethernet on it, dual Thunderbolt 4, a good amount, 9 USB Type A ports in the back, plus 3 Type C, those 2 Thunderbolt 4, and plus a 10 gigabit per second. Wi-Fi 7, and we're adding in a USB PCIe add-in card, so it adds more USB ports because it's also going to be used for streaming. And we're adding in the AverMedia Live Gamer 4K 2.1. My favorite capture card right now. Because this person, Chase, was able to tell me, hey, I'm going to use it for this. I need it for that. And I'm like, dope. We'll build it up for that. And it's going to be awesome. Oh, that's... No. How did I... Get out of here. Yeah, for $350, this motherboard is absolutely stacked with features for a content creation and streaming PC. And of course, here's the thing. Yes, there's going to be gaming, but what are you putting Intel in there if you're gaming? You got to put X3D. Yeah, they're gaming at 4K. X3D is a literal waste of money for most games at 4K. Like the CPU is taking a back seat in terms of gaming at anything at 1440p or higher. 1440p, it's a little bit more involved, but nothing like a 1080p. So that's why I feel like X3D chips, they're great. They're awesome. And if you're playing games, even at 4K, if you know that they're CPU intensive, then yeah, sure, it can still help you. But that's the minority of games. That is a small percentage of games that are still CPU intensive at 4K. So generally, the 265K is going to do just fine. It's mostly GPU at that point. All right, I finally got it in there, guys. We did it. That should have taken 2 minutes. Holy crap. Ah, the beauty of building PCs live on stream. Don't forget the swarm graphic over the fan in the back. Oh, it's there. Oh, yeah. Don't forget about that. Look at that. That is courtesy of Ameridan, who was in chat earlier and may still be here. But yes, that is Chase right there. Chase Wheels. That is the new owner of this PC. And Chase has a mentality that I 100% appreciate. This took a long time, but the point was to get it right. And I, like, if anyone's going to buy a PC from me and wants any changes done, you need to understand that that's my attitude. This is why I can't be a PC company. I can't be a system integrator. I would obsess over every PC that goes out the door. It has to be perfect. And you're going to be using it for years. If it's a few extra weeks to get it in and have it be just right, I would say that's worth it. And yeah, this is turning out really nice. Okay, I'm going to get the CPU cooler on there first. Can you get out of the way? Thank you. Forgot how I had that oriented before. Did I have it like this? With the tubes coming this way? Or did I have it like this with the tubes going kind of along the top exhaust fans? Because that works. You can kind of tuck them back like that. And then these cables are here where I would route them up normally. So I forgot how I did it before, but I'll do it kind of like that. Aaron Steinhauer says, if you wanted a premium gaming streaming build and slightly oriented business PC, are there any changes you would make? Yeah, you wouldn't need 96 gigs of RAM like this one's getting. You wouldn't necessarily need 6 terabytes of storage. The CPU would be fine still. Just things like that. I haven't put. I was doing a test fit. By the way, what's up, Warm Eagle? I don't know if I said hi yet, but hi. Yeah, I think this will look good right here if I can get the tubes to stay in place. Actually, no. I think it's hitting there. I don't think that's going to work. My bad. Okay, so it might have to be like that, but I don't like where the cables go then. Although I guess they could go up and sort of be wedged in there. Let's see if this one would fit that. No, that doesn't fit. It would have to go around, all the way around there. Well, I'll figure that out later. I might just reorient this later. This is a position that is like the easiest on the tubes. And then you have the cables at the top for routing. It's just, if you're looking at it from an angle, it's going to block the screen some. And that's, yeah, annoying to me. But not too badly. Not too badly. Once this cable's out of the way, these are going to rest in a more normal position like that, pretty much. I think that'll be fine. Not much long day of yard work. Now it's time to finally relax. Sounds good. All right, time for time for the forbidden snack, everybody. There we go, the thermal paste. Do not eat thermal paste ever, please. I'm just joking, of course. Although I did say forbidden, I suppose that covers all my bases, legally speaking. One sec. Now, Alucard, I don't know if you have one of these big tubes of Kingpin KPX, but it's just, as a builder, it's just awesome. It is very, very cool to have this. I love it. And I told Splave that, because he has his thermal paste out now. I was like, you need to make one like that, dude. I would use your thermal paste on everything. Might be enough right there. Give me a link to it later if you can. Sure. Thanks, bud. I'm just now getting into PCs, and your streams helped a ton, learning a ton. Thanks. No problem. Well, Aaron, here's the thing. This is a rarity that I'm building anything on stream. The PC matchmaking is what you'll want to stick around for. So consider, if you're within a month of making your purchase, consider filling out the form. That's the first thing linked in the description. Because then I actually help you one-on-one for free. There is somebody waiting right now. I'm not sure if they're going to pass out because they might go to sleep. It is like 6 a.m. over there at this point, probably. Sorry about that. So maybe you'd be the first one to help. But I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have for that, basically. But we're getting to the latter part of this. So... that should be good right there. This is awesome. Thank you. I'm saving this video for a step-by-step when I do a build. Absolutely. And honestly, guys, there's a lot of people who you'll be like, oh, just put a pea-sized amount, like the size of a pea on of thermal paste. I ain't about that. You honestly can't really put too much thermal paste unless it is a cartoonish amount. And I like the spatula, especially having shaky hands because of essential tremors. It helps me. It helps me with sort of ensuring that I get good coverage. I've got nothing to prove after building a lot of PCs. I'm like, I'm good. Thermal paste and liquid coolers scare me. Don't let it scare you. It's really not that bad. I love PC building. Raxness, absolutely. Like to spread the thermal paste as well. Only way I do it now. Yep. And especially with contact frames, you can rest assured it's not going to like get everywhere on the motherboard. It's going to get everywhere on the contact frame. Empire of Noise says, spent over 5K on my latest build. Cool. Did you need to? I also like this because Chase gets to see this process instead of me just being like, okay, I did the thing. No, like how often have I been like, hey, it's cool when system integrators build PCs live on stream. So now someone who bought a PC from me gets to see this process for themselves. Huh, what if we do with the tubes? What if we put it behind that? No, that's not going to work. There's too much resistance and I don't want to mess with that. Okay, so then in goes our Lian Li strimmer cable 24 pin. Right there. Thankfully, the tab is facing the same direction. Wait, what happened? Meridan, I'd love to know how those are printed. I can make some to install for a build later on. The fan shrouds, probably. Dan? Now this is the other direction for the USB 3.0 front panel connector, and that's caught on something. I don't like that. I'm probably going to reroute this afterwards, or now actually. It's not that big a deal. But there is our 12V 2x6 or 12V HPWR Lian Li strimmer cable, and these are the wireless ones. So you just run power into them through the cable connection it already has. There's no extra power or RGB cables needed for these. In this case, I feel like the wireless thing is actually kind of worth it versus the fans. I think it's very cool seeing your PC built on stream. Makes it feel more personal. Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing a few of these where I basically will do improvements on pre-built. Like, because there's sometimes where a company will be like, hey, you know, I don't know. I like doing PC build streams, and there's people, I don't know, there's a lot to it. There's a lot involved with this, and it is a lot of work. Very cool to see this being built. Makes me even more excited. Hell yeah. I also, by the way, got a different GPU support bracket that is not going to have fitment issues considering how large the 4080 is, the Aero 4080 is. Now, I need to move that up. I need to move that up one, so we'll do that. Actually, Also, Chase, if you want to watch a high quality VOD of this, it's going to be on the YouTube channel forever. You can watch it whenever you want. You're not actually seeing what I'm doing right now. Sorry. So I'm just connecting all these bottom connectors here. Accidentally muted the music with the entire computer. Not really, just one of the best at the time. I feel that, Empire. You're good. Very helpful. I learned by watching, for sure, which is what makes YouTube such an awesome tool for this, for learning PC DIY. I have the original build saved to a YouTube playlist. Nice. Oh, I found a different fan cover file. Converted your RGB picture to an SVG, imported both into Tinkercad, and made them go together. Voila, magic. Nice. I need to see how, I don't know, because I feel like both have their place. The one that Jeff designed, where it has a similar thing, but it has like the honeycomb style with the color behind it. That it should go into a build where it's not going to clash with anything. The ones you made as monochromatic are simpler and nice in that way, to where it works with a build where it, like you can put any color RGB on you want, and it's not going to clash with just the black or white you have here. So those are two chassis fan or sys fan connectors right there. It goes to like the controller that controls all of it. Of course, it's also through USB as well. I think that's just these two bottom fans actually. So they're controlled separately from the rest of the case fans. So you can have a different RPM cooling your GPU, sending fresh air to your GPU. The fan shroud for RGB, I would love to make something with them later on. That would be super cool, Alucard. I'd love to see that. Front panel audio here, always on this sort of last corner there. And then our unified front panel connector. Thank you for having that, NZXT. It's all your power switch, your reset switch, all that stuff. Now, I had really, really nice cable management all done before, and I had to undo it for some of this. So I'll do my best to get it back to full-on nice mode, but it might be a little less pristine than it was before, Chase. But I know you need. I need to get this thing to you already. So, yeah, I need to sort of temper my obsession there a little bit. Anyone who really gets into this stuff, you know, you can spend like a day on cable management for a PC if you just like sort of lose yourself in it. Not a day, but hours for sure. Now this is NZXT's fault. Having a pristine white AIO with just all black cables. That is NZXT's fault. But you got to remember, most motherboards at the time this was meant, I mean, still most motherboards now, even with silver accents, whatever, you're not necessarily going to have a white PCB. So it would stand out against a black or a gray motherboard or whatever. So. And the black case cables for a white case. Yep. And I could always print more for Braithorn if he wants them, and if he'll pay for shipping for a excuse me, Dan. I ask you every time if I asked you if I could pay for shipping for that. And you said nothing. You just ghosted me. All right, 1 second while I just route these real quick. All right. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's cool. No. Call me out on live TV when you know the truth. By the way, what's up, Board Chaos? How's it going? And 10 mate, if I didn't already say hello. Hello. Nope, sorry, Voyager 3. I had to save some for a monitor. Oh, I made a quick decision and got a Starforge Horizon 3 base. I figured it was upgradable, which is when I started watching a ton of YouTube and found you. Sorry, Voyager 3. Okay. All right. No, hey, Starforge is solid, though. I'm just trying to, like, route these really quick. Just don't mind me. And to be clear, when I talk about pristine cable management, I'm not necessarily talking about aesthetics. I'm talking about accessibility for self-repair or diagnosing problems or doing upgrades. I'll like separate RGB cables from fan power cables. I'll have the PSU cables sort of bundled together. All of that so that if you need to replace or disconnect one of them or something, you don't have to undo all of your cable management to do that. I call it, the term that I use for that is just to say don't cross the streams. As in, don't mix your different cables. Keep them in, keep them separate so that they're easy to service. And to that you might say, so you went function over form, and to you I would say, function is form. Function is beautiful. Are you kidding? And there you go. I know it looks a mess, but if you need to service anything in here, you're not destroying your cable management, essentially. And all this, I had to just bundle that up. I had it really nice up there, but yeah. Now, I will say the 24-pin is sort of being wrangled into place here because it wants to fight it, and it needs to connect to a strimmer cable. So that's not that nice looking. But everything is, like at the bottom, or have all of these bundled together, all of that. You need to service any of these things. You cut a zip tie or do anything like that, you're not unraveling everything you did. That is, to me, lovely cable management. Alucard, you can't really blame me for that. It's not like I sung it. VE. What's up? Do a lot of competitive gaming, but also do a lot of AI work coding. Those are very, very opposite things. Well, in a way, yeah. Thought about getting a dual mode OLED. 9950X3D actually works for what you're talking about. The reason is you did not mention streaming. If you're trying to do a lot of gaming while streaming and you want all those cores to be active while you're doing that, the moment you turn on a game, that 9950X3D turns into a 9800X3D due to core parking. But you're not streaming, so it doesn't really matter. It's fine. While you're doing the competitive gaming in 9800X3D, I don't know what resolution you're talking about, but if you're talking competitive, you probably mean 1080p. That's why, hence the dual mode monitor. I would say 9950X3D in that case. Now, understand though, certain like depending on what kind of coding you're doing, you might benefit from Intel rather than the 9950X3D, but you have to ask yourself whether you're going to want to upgrade it over time. And Intel certainly doesn't support that very well. And yes, I will fix this. I will fix this later. Function form, is it too much to ask for both? ZTT asks that often. And true. And he actually will, he will prefer aesthetics over, but see, that's the thing, is if you're an SI, you have to have functional cable management for remote tech support if you're ever going to want your customer to be able to be guided through anything over the phone or email. Now, otherwise, you're adding to your RMAs, and RMAs are a money pit for any system integrator. Or Chaos, sorry I missed this earlier. Nobody can make up their mind on what shade of white they want to choose. Noctua even faking us out with cream white fans and not delivering. Yeah, Noctua can do a lot, but they cannot make a white fan that they're willing to sell. Yeah, this is just temporary. I'm just getting everything connected. Don't be mad at me. Coolin V. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Please tell me. Hope that response was helpful to you, though. A little hard to do this and do that, but hey, I tried. Okay. One additional thing I might do, Chase, is just in case you're going to run a any kind of SATA or any SATA SSD or hard drive, I'll pre-route at least one SATA data cable, and there's already the power there right by it, but I'll pre-route that for you. I mean, I love to see that when SIs do it, so why wouldn't I do it myself? So there is, hold on. There is one downside to this motherboard. The only downside to this motherboard is that though it has a lot of fast USB on the rear I/O that's integrated into the motherboard, we can't put a 10 gigabit per second USB adding card in this because you have an X4 slot right here for your capture card, but this is only an X1 slot for anything else, and that's where the USB card's going to go. If you really want to test your cable management skills, build an ITX system. That'll truly test you. I have done it live on stream twice. So, yeah, it sucks. Load ITX systems with riser cables. No onboard GPU when you have to set the MOBO first. Yeah, that was the benefit. There are multiple cases now that benefit from not needing a riser cable. It does inform the form factor, what it's going to be shaped like. You can't have a flat PC like that, like you have in the what is that? The Fractal Ridge, I think, case like that, or the Tiki Falcon Northwest Tiki. However, something like the one I built that was like that. Well, of course, you have like the NR200P, where you can go with a riser cable, or you can just go direct into the motherboard, depending on the size of your GPU. The Height Revolt 3, I built in that one on stream a while back. Just stuff like that. Okay, so we got this guy. Or this guy. What's up, Timsters? Yep. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to let you choose, Chase, between these two. These are both PCIe X1. I see more USB controllers on here, but it has more USB ports, so that makes sense. It's just a difference of having 5 USB Type A USB 3.0 ports. They both have 2 Type C ports, but they run at 5 gigabit per second, just so you know. I think that this one, although the bracket matches the build better, I think this one might be hard to plug certain things in if the USB itself is too thick. So what you might need to do with this one, because they're closer together, as you can see. With this one, you might need to have a few cable extensions. Just get slim USB 3.0 cable extensions that will fit this. And then you're free to plug in whatever you want to it. This one's going to be a little bit more spaced out, but you lose one USB Type A. Which would you prefer? Left or right? Okay. Now, to be clear, I am going to be putting the capture card in here for the stream, like right now. But once I'm going to be installing Windows in this, I'm going to remove it first, just so that it's not, Windows isn't trying to figure out that thing while it's in there. Just let it just be. This is plug and play. This is no problem, but I don't know about, the AverMedia was plug and play for me as well. But I hope that was a already existing install of Windows. Well, someone on YouTube chose right, but the person this actually belongs to chose left. Unfortunately, I cannot read that name. Can you tell me what to call you? But welcome to the stream. How's it going? And now, my absolute favorite high refresh rate, variable refresh rate, HDMI 2.1 capture card on the market right now, the AverMedia Live Gamer 4K 2.1. This is what I use to test PCs at high refresh rates. Unfortunately, all the shipping label stuff covered the nice picture on the front, but what are you going to do? And yes, this is brand spanking new. I got to chat with AverMedia a little bit at TwitchCon last year, and they're super nice, by the way. The problem is my content doesn't really line up with streaming tech that much. Not yet. Maybe we'll do a series or something later on. I don't care how many years I've been doing YouTube and stuff. I still get excited about maybe doing a different approach to stuff, new series, something like that. But the cool thing is this does, I mean, most of these are going to come with this, but you're going to get like a high bandwidth HDMI cable with this. It is a gorgeous card as well. This dark silver with RGB. It's really nice. Call me Chinese dude or Japanese dude, anything you want. I appreciate the suggestion. I might not do that. I'll just lean on Google Translate. I'll copy paste and figure out what it is. I might be wrong though. Shintaro from the Japanese kanji. Okay. So yeah, really nice, sleek capture card. This RGB is nice on here. Just go ahead and do that right there. And this right here, we leave no peel behind. My goal, Chase, is for you not to have to open this thing for a long time. And to open it, it would just be like adding more storage or something if you want. Remember, as things stand now with storage options on the market, you can literally add 24 gigs more extremely fast storage in here with 8 terabyte M.2 drives, because there are 3 left after the 6 terabytes we already have in here. How to change the RGB on the capture card? I haven't tried, but it's probably just through the AverMedia software. I'll bet you though, Alucard, I'll bet that Signal RGB recognizes it. How much you want to bet? The roll through is the first ITX I ever did. I do want to make another ITX rig to test my skills again. Luckily, I have the CH160 for it already. I was supposed to get like a couple of those, and then all that stuff happened. Nice T-shirt that shows very underrated. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is underrated. It's not as well known as it should be. But for those who have seen it, I think it's pretty accurately rated as one of the goats, one of the greatest of all time. Like, the Dark Tournament arc walked so that every other tournament arc could run. You know what I mean? And it still is one of the greatest of all time in that niche. Okay, time for the chonker to make itself known. There we go. This absolute unit of an Aero 4080. Now, Chase, my thought process here, I was talking about this earlier, and I might have mentioned this to you before, but at the time they might not have announced this yet, but perhaps late this year or early next year, maybe CES. I'm not sure when they're going to do it, but NVIDIA is going to be eventually dropping the 50 series super cards, and the specs on those are crazy. So keeping this one, it's going to do everything you want, but if you do need more VRAM down the road, like the 5070 Ti Super, the leak stated that it was going to have 24 gigs of VRAM in the 5070 Ti Super. 5080 Super as well, 24 gigs of VRAM. Hell, the 5070 Super is supposed to have 18 gigs of VRAM potentially. So, yeah, will it help with AR rendering? Yes. Yes, it will. The thing is that unless you go 4090 or 5090, you're not going to get more VRAM than this 16 gigs right here. So it would be a needless expense only like 4 to 6 months before something better at a better price comes out. Potentially, if they're even available. You know how it is. We can talk about the new tech all day. Whether it's available or not, hard to say. I should really plug in those. Hold on. Before I put this in, I just need to plug these in real quick. Now, this was a smart move by MSI. They wanted to have the USB Type-C around here somewhere, but they had this plate here, and the GPU could have hit the cable, so it comes out the side here. And yes, I am going to reroute these later. I'm just getting them plugged in for now, so there's no hanging cables out or whatever. So there's your Type-C, front panel Type-C there. And this is ready to be plugged in. Let's go. You also have a quick release here. This is hidden right now. This white button right here is actually, look at your, that's your GPU lock right there. Perfect track for installing this monster of a white and silver GPU. Look at how perfectly this matches in here. Holy crap, that is gorgeous. Is this a subscriber gift or is it like a paid thing? Are you talking about the PC? No, it's a paid thing. It's a PC that I built a while back that was purchased by a viewer, but we're rebuilding it essentially. Whether you use the 4090 cooler and that 4080, I know it's super sick. It is a bit big, but if you look, it fits perfectly with the way that the PCIe slots were placed on this. It really is nice. It really, it's visually. It almost hurts to let this thing go. This is one of my favorite aesthetics for a GPU. Now, we are putting in a very solid GPU support bracket later. But yeah, so this has some wiggle to it, but that's just the nature of it. It's going to basically sandwich the GPU and attach to these screws right here. It has an adjustability to it that we needed for this. No. Oh, it's just now showing the gifted subs. Sorry, Braxton. I didn't have that on the top-down cam. Forecast, I've seen some boards with poorly placed USB 3 header that GPU's blocked. It was like they assumed no GPU was ever going to be that long. Yeah. So this is your high-speed HDMI 2.1 cable. You want to make sure that you're using an HDMI 2.1 cable from your device to the capture card and from the capture card for the pass-through to your monitor. And this only comes with one. So for those who don't know how a capture card works, there are two different kinds of capture cards that you might need if you're going to be doing any streaming. The one that most people would need is, well, okay, I guess I can't really tell which one would be more common. But if you're trying to capture a console or another PC because you have a dedicated streaming PC, then you would use, let me see. Yeah, then you use something like this that has high bandwidth or high refresh rate pass through, so that you basically plug into the capture card and then you have an in and then an HDMI out. The HDMI out goes to your monitor, and it's almost, well, it's pretty much completely latency free, zero latency. But the capture card will then catch that signal for the PC itself, so you can put it in OBS or whatever streaming software you're using. Now, the other kind of capture card is where there is no HDMI out. It's just HDMI in for video and audio, potentially, from something like a mirrorless camera, like this one right here, this camera that I'm using. So something like that is just to get the signal into your PC. A lot of people will use external capture cards for that as well. Like there's a little Camlink 4K that you can get from Elgato. It does a great job of getting 4K 30 video for your stream. It's just I prefer having internal capture cards, and because I have stuff like, well, you know, a top-down camera, and also upcoming soon, sort of a quarter, like a 35-degree angle from the side there. I need the Camlink Pro, which can take up to 4 HDMI 4K 30 FPS signals, so I can have up to 4 mirrorless cameras connected. That is a different kind of capture card. My PC that I stream with needs both of those because I have to capture the PC I'm testing and all the cameras when I'm doing an unboxing. So I have 2 high-end capture cards. Well, I can't say high-end because there are like enterprise level or industry capture cards, Blackmagic ones and things like that. Like those are another level, but they are not like your basic HD capture cards or whatever. They're on the higher end of consumer grade, put it that way. What are your thoughts on DisplayPort versus HDMI with 4K? It depends on the version of HDMI. HDMI 2.1. Generally, most gamers are going to have as good a time with that as they would with DisplayPort. But I tend to go DisplayPort for the primary gaming monitor I'm going to be using. I want to update you on my 2-year-old iBuyPower Y40 i7 2TB with 4060 Ti. The machine runs flawlessly, and I'm very happy with the $1,500 purchase. Devolve Beast, that is awesome to hear. Have you had to interact with iBuyPower customer service at any point? And if you have, please tell us what that was like. If I can encourage you to do one thing, Duval Beast, is, unless you've already done this, if you really want to share your experience in a way that's going to help out other community members or potential buyers, in our Discord, we have a section for SI testimonials, where you give a full testimonial of your experience with an SI. If it's great and you want to include pictures of what your setup is like and how the thing is running, whatever benchmarks you can. If it was bad and you want to show pictures of, I don't know, shipping damage or screenshots of bad interactions with tech support or whatever, you can do that too. It's not, hey, go in there and say nice things. It's, hey, if you had an experience you want to share, that's for other people who go into the Discord and are like, well, what's it like with iBuyPower? Let me go look at what actual buyers have said. And if there's anything really good or really bad you have to say, show something to back it up, because a lot of online reviews, you can't verify them. People can just put words together however they want, unfortunately. And sometimes they put them together in ways they shouldn't go because the things they're saying aren't true. But we'll never know. So the SI Testimonials group of channels is a place where you can go, where you can sort of back up what your experience and say, here's why it was great. Anyways, I love the PCI config on that board. No automatic bifurcation, but you can do 8x manually if you need it. Are you talking about this board here? Yeah. Okay, so I guess I could just plug it in and turn it on, and then we'll call it there, just so you guys can see what it looks like. With streamer cables, all the RGB on, and that's going to be for Chase as well, mostly for Chase, I should say. Give me a second just so I can go and get the power cable here. Stop following. Stop right there. Oh my god, hold on. There we go. I mean, it's just set to white, but like, oh my god, that is like overexposed like crazy. Jeez. Oh yeah. Kenneth, never mind. I think that is a subscriber one. I do have one. An emote for RGB. But damn, son. And you even have this right here, which is really nice. If you have this close to the wall, you don't have to worry about blocking off your airflow if you have this right up against the wall. If you have the right side of the case right up against the wall, and this is going to cast light all along your wall too. It's perfection. Solar flare. Like, I'm not big on streamer cables, but like, I get it. I get it. And of course you have RGB up in the top as well. That's a little harder to see. Oh, man. Chase, are you seeing this? Ducati V4, does it come with sunglasses? No, you got a BYOS. Now, you can work with that. You can dim it. I'd be running that at RGB brightness at 1 out of 255. Lol, it's probably more like 30 minimum. Well, also, like, here's one thing. I have a Black Mist Pro filter on my camera that makes things have a glow to them. In person, it's not like this. Okay, it's not that bad in person. I promise you, it is much more reasonable in person. This is insane. Like, on camera, I could see what you're seeing. And I can tell you, I can actually see the individual lines of the streamer cables. They're not blinding. I'm not here blinded. Yeah, you might even feel like you don't need to dim them when you see them in person. But at least you know that, like, say you're streaming and you want this to be part of your background, like part of your set, it's gonna show up. So guys, just to be clear, if I'm like, hey, I'm selling a PC, I can build a PC. I do know what I'm doing, and it can. Yeah, most smartphones oversaturate RGB. Well, this is a FX3 cinema camera, but I mean, yeah. I have the Black Mist Pro filter on there, so yeah. We'll have fun dialing it in. Yes, and I will say that Lee has some really cool effects to where you can have this not constantly lit up, but you can have it look like energy is flowing into your motherboard and flowing into your GPU. It has like streaks of light that you can do. You can assign each individual row different colors or animations. It is super freaking cool. That's one thing Lee's got down is the customization of their RGB. It's better than Corsair, hands down. I don't know. I take a lot of pride in building in the PC builds that I do. That's why I freak out so much when I'm going to send it to somebody, and I second guess myself a lot because I take a lot of pride in it, maybe too much. Would want to use that with everything else, Lee. That's true, and that makes sense. But on the fans themselves, it's not. I think it's coolest. The effect is the best on the streamer cables. It's kind of neat on the fans, yes. But on the streamer cables, these are, I don't know. You can do a little more with them, I feel. NZXT does have a really nice, they do have a nice diffusion. The diffusing on the fans, RGB diffusion is really nice. How are you shipping it? It's going to be in the case box and within an outer box as well. are using a USB dongle or internal hub for the streamer cables. They do the same thing. Araxis, these did not come with a hub because it's the USB wireless. So these don't have any cables coming off of them. They're just getting power from the power supply and then the wireless signal, which the controller for that is in the back of this the other side of this cable and the other side of this cable, like on the other end. What's the GPU? It is a Gigabyte Aero 4080. We didn't see the need to go with a 50 series because the 50 series super cards are going to be coming out shortly, and they're going to be better for AI stuff because they're going to have higher. This part of this PC is going to be used with AI production stuff or AI use cases. So like going from 4080 16 gigs VRAM to a 5080 or a 5070 Ti 16 gigs of VRAM wouldn't have a huge meaningful effect on any AI tasks. And a 5090 is out of the price range. I mean, that's like by itself, $2,800, $3,000, whatever price you can get it for. Instead, you go for something like 5070 Ti Super or 5080 Super, and those are reportedly going to be coming out with 24 gigs of VRAM. So that's the way to go in the future. Unless you want to wait until 60 series, Chase. That's an option too. GPU separate. No, I'm going to have a very solid GPU bracket in here that's going to screw into these bottom fans and then clamp onto the GPU. So it should be, and plus, of course, use Instapack as well. I didn't see the cable management. That's fine, Duval Beast, because I had to tear apart the cable management a little bit to do this upgrade. And I'm not going to be sitting here for an hour on stream redoing the cable management. But it's a dual chamber case, so there's plenty of room for cable management. It's not hard to get it good. So let's go ahead and shut this down now. Another thing, Chase, real quick. So I'm going to be using this brand new flash drive for installing Windows, and I'm going to send it along with it as a rescue drive as well. So you'll have a rescue drive for your operating system. In case you're wondering, what is this random flash drive? That's what it is. But there you have it. There we go. And once you stop right there. Well, that was fun. Hope you all enjoyed that. Awesome. Looks great. Can't wait to receive it. Thanks for all the work you do for the community. Your expertise and pride in your work is why I don't mind waiting. You have waited a while. And that means, and also, you helped me get to Computex. Like that, there's no way I wasn't going to put 120% effort into that. Maximum effort. But for those wondering, how do I get myself one? I'm going to be selling another system soon. It's not going to be as extreme spec as this. I think it's like currently, well, it is an Alienly O11 Vision case with a, I think, 7800X3D and a 7900 XT, and maybe we change that. I don't know. But as you can see, I can basically do anything you want to the PC as long as you're willing to pay for upgrades. So yeah, Chase, now it's me putting in Windows, getting Alienly Connect software, and I guess both NZXT Cam and Alienly Connect software running on there. Double and triple checking everything in the OS, getting it all buttoned up, and then packing it very carefully. Let me ask, do you want the motherboard box, the box for like the capture card, all that stuff? Do you want all the boxes I can possibly send you? Because that's going to be a big outer box if we do that, but I don't mind doing it at all. Toilet Wisdom said, got to go. I just finished. We're ready. I'm ready to do your build now. Oh, boy. Okay. Why not put a down payment on a house rather than buying a 5090? Well, the problem, Timsters, is that's not affordable either. I'd ask to flatten the boxes. Well, I mean, the thing is, BC Murray, if you do that, they're not very good for RMAing hardware. Like if you want to send in the motherboard or something. Because you have to get rid of the structural cardboard on the inside. So it's not going to be ideal, I would say. I mean, I guess I could do that, but you have to get them exactly right, I suppose, putting it together. I'm helping a buddy with SL wireless and streamer cables for a build, so this lines up so well. One thing, Araxis, I would recommend for the 12V 2x6 that you do the that you get this one that's sized appropriately, not the one that's the width of the 24-pin cable. That drives me crazy because you have that thick cable and then a tiny connector coming off of it. It looks wrong. Yes to boxes. All right, I'll figure it out. Some people want certain boxes, especially GPU boxes, if you paid for an expensive GPU. I don't have the box for that GPU, unfortunately. I'm mostly talking about the new parts. That's it. But that's it, guys. We did it. We did something productive. Not that helping y'all with PCs is not productive. It absolutely is, okay? But yeah, when do you think GPUs will get smaller? Because when we get to the 8000s GPUs, we might be needing cranes. I think we're reaching the upper limit of what GPUs can look like because it's ridiculous already. But we might have said that already last gen and the gen before that. So, like back in the 3090 days. We'll do. Thank you for the tip. You got it. GPU plus motherboard boxes are the ones I normally keep. Again, I don't have that GPU box, unfortunately. But I'll send you every box I've got. I mean, that's going to look good on a shelf, you know? Okay. So, let's take a look now at the list to see if who's joined the list here. Motherboard boxes can be useful for storage. My favorite are Noctua boxes for organizing smaller stuff. Essentially, what I was planning on doing was trying to fit most of the other stuff inside the motherboard box, but because it's not a big motherboard box, that didn't quite work. It's cool because it's like I'm starting on the next part of the stream now. It's 11:25. Holy crap. I spent way too long on that. Oh, boy. Sorry, everybody. Okay, let's see who has filled out the form. Because I'm just going to help. I started like 45 minutes late, so we're going to go 45 minutes late. That's okay. So Toilet Wisdom said they had to go. That would mean Dan the Racker. Oh, Aaron Steinhauer just joined the Swarmies. Welcome to the Swarm. Thank you for getting that YouTube membership, my friend. Let's go, nerds. Thank you very much. I didn't do that right because I usually will do this right here. Welcome to the Swarm. I didn't do it there, and I apologize. Oh, I guess I just did, actually. Yeah, sure. Anyway. My back hurts after that. Oh, boy. There's a part of me that would totally start an SI company, but I'm not good at running a big company like there's no. I mean, not to say that it would be big, but doing a few builds a year, not a problem. I'm down with that. Duval B said, would love to play Battlefield 6 on it. It's very specific, but yeah. So, okay. Just verifying. Dan the Racker, are you here? Because I believe Toilet Wisdom had to leave, which I feel bad about. That's the person who already got some liquid cooling stuff and wanted a custom looped PC. And okay, yeah, that's a rough one. I'm a member now, but just a heads up, I'm going to be asking a lot of stupid questions. It's no such thing. It's okay. So looking at this, so we had Toilet Wisdom. They said they had to go right before this point. I mean, it's probably like 8 a.m. over there. I get it. So hopefully they come back on Tuesday. Just so you know, in case you're sort of unfamiliar with the streams, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do PC matchmaking unless I'm doing something else. Here, let me just do that real quick. Oh, it's not doing the thing again. Ah, come on. This is definitely an imperfect system. I'll say that. Okay. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do PC matchmaking unless I'm doing something else like an unboxing and testing stream or whatever. But sometimes I'll put those on other days where I don't normally stream. And then on Sundays, I stream only on Twitch because those are gaming streams to just hang out with folks and just play some games, whatever. Hey, Dan the Ninja. Hey, it's me, Dan the Racker, on a alt account. Sorry about that. Can you get on your normal account? I have this neuroses where the person I'm talking to has to match the name that they entered in the form. So if you can hop over to that one. I don't know if it's inconvenient or what, but I would prefer that if that's okay with you. Just a verification thing for me. It says Dan the and then something different. I know it's very similar, but I put that same requirement on everybody else. It's not verifiable. Are you having trouble logging into that one? Yeah, if you don't mind just knocking through this thing and just putting the right name on there, then yeah, I wouldn't mind that if you're cool with that. Again, I've just been doing this for such a long time that I like to line up certain things like the names of the person I'm helping out. But okay. Hold off on that. But that's who we'll be helping out now is going to be Dan. But yeah, so that's what I do here. PC matchmaking is just this. You send in a form. It has very specific information in there. It's not every question that I'm going to ask you. I'll ask a couple of other things, but it's the main stuff to sort of get you in the mindset of, I'm going to be answering questions here. It's questions you should be asking yourself anyway. It also really helps me sort of categorize where you're at and figure out what SI might be right for you or what build might be right for you. It just does all the main information that I need. Now, for those who fill out the form and don't get help the night of, you're still on the list. And that goes out to Toilet Wisdom right there. You're still on the list. You come back on Tuesday, I got you. Okay, there we go. Zintech, if I want to build a computer and I have carpet, can I build a computer if my wooden desk is upstairs and there's carpet up there? Yeah, just don't put it on the carpet. Also, you can take your power supply of the PC you're building, don't flip it on, but just plug it into the wall with the power cable and touch that to sort of discharge yourself into that now just on the outside of that power supply while you're doing the rest of the build. Yeah, I got it. It's right here. Can I ask you a favor real quick? There's an emote that looks like this. Can you drop that in chat? Here we go. That's the one. Can you just drop that emote in chat for me? This is something that I would do normally at the beginning of the stream, but again, there it is. All right, cool. So let me ask you this. The form itself asks you for a range of budget, and that's cool. I need that for the charts that it sort of gives me afterwards. But what is your actual maximum budget? Not a range, but just a number. Like, is it 27 or 2350, 2200? What in this range is your actual maximum budget? I remember just now that Sick PCs is having a big old sale right now. We're gonna have to go see if this is gonna fit for them. What are we doing with this? Gaming, streaming, content creation, and video editing, but all at 1080p. 1080p, eh? All right.
That's going to be, I'll say this, video editing and streaming using 1080p resolution is going to be rough. You don't have a lot of real estate there to have like all your windows open and all that kind of stuff. I would recommend at least 1440p if you're going to be doing video editing and streaming, just to be able to have more real estate on. You can scale things, I know, but with 1080p, you just have that many fewer pixels. Well, or Chaos, it's going to be the use case. If you see too high a budget for what seems like too like low spec of a build, we look at the use case and it's like, oh, they also want to do streaming and content creation / video editing. That requires extra oomph in some of the other specs. But I would recommend going for 1440p on this one. $2.5K. Got it. Yeah, so I would recommend, new to all this, would appreciate it if something is, okay. Yeah, you're going to want a higher resolution monitor. Like, let's think about it. What kind of content are you looking to make? Are you looking to make YouTube videos? Are you looking to make TikToks? What are we thinking? I know you said you're new to all this, but I'm asking you a question that you, again, something you need to consider for yourself already. Like, if you're just going to be taking gameplay footage and cutting it up for TikToks and stuff, that's not necessarily very high-end video editing. It's not very, very demanding video editing. One cool thing, for people who do that a lot, I actually recommend something like a vertical monitor on the side of your regular monitor. And you can actually put the video you're editing, you can put the feed right there. You can put the actual playback on that vertical monitor to get a really good look at what it's going to look like on someone's vertical phone screen. Pretty cool. I have done that while editing shorts. Gaming with my friends and posting us having fun. That's no big deal then. The main thing I'm going to focus on here, Dan, is getting you a solid motherboard because of the streaming aspect. Streaming is one of those things where it's, the odds are most people who stream, you could stream to 10, 15 people at some point, maybe 20 or something. You never know. But also some people, you might get really serious about it, So I try to build out any PC for streaming to where you're not going to ever have to worry about your motherboard not having enough plugs for USB devices, okay? So yeah, I've had an open gaming laptop for like 4 to 5 years, and I've been looking for an upgrade. This is going to be a major upgrade for that. Let's take a quick peek at Sick PCs. Actually, let me bring up the sale thing real quick. Mikey, are you still here? Oh, that's the wrong. I'm not trying to connect my 8-bit device. Thank you. Mikey, I'm a little sad right now. I want you to know that. I just noticed something. So this is the sale right here. This is what Mikey sent me here. 25% off labor for all PCs built in the custom builder. $120 off all pre-configured gaming PCs and workstations. 15% off all apparel and mouse mats. Okay. And then it's automatically applied checkout and can be combined with sponsor creator discount codes or just creator discount codes for an additional 5% off the entire order. And then he lists out I went and messaged Mikey to come back in just so I could complain about this. He lists out a bunch of codes. He sent this to me. I'm not on this list. He didn't put me on this list. And then he sent it to me. That's just like straight up, just like, yeah, I guess I'll send it to Braithorn. But he doesn't rank getting put on this list with everybody else. Maybe we'll look at another system integrator. No, it's not a big deal, I guess. Okay. So we can look at pre-configured, or we can look at a custom build. And if because it's not just for gaming, that's when I usually opt for a custom build. Why understand if you're not going to put B on the list? It's okay. I don't know, because the thing is, I can't be called a sponsored creator because I'm not sponsored by them. I have a coupon code. That's it. So maybe that's the distinction. I heard something. Does the minter need to match minter need to match your original monitor? Monitor? What? Okay. You can mix and match any monitors you want, Aaron. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. We'll look at pre-configured gaming PCs here and see what motherboards are in here. So again, if you're going to be streaming, it doesn't matter if you're just streaming, like if you're just going to stream on Discord, that's one thing. You're not going to be needing a couple of stream decks and a bunch, a couple capture, whatever. You're not going to need all that stuff necessarily. Okay. But if you're streaming to Twitch or YouTube or both or whatever, you might eventually end up needing quite a few USB devices. And a lot of like Elgato devices and things like that don't necessarily like to be on a USB hub. So let's see. So if we go for here, this is 24, 9600X, and a what? 9070 XT. Well, not if you're going to be editing video. Even light video editing, I would still push someone towards an NVIDIA card, but ooh, those are gorgeous PCs, man. So to be clear, Sick PCs is a boutique builder. So that will be reflected in it. But I think we need to go with a custom PC. I'm just not seeing a pre-configured one with like what I was looking for in it. So let's go to the custom builder. I do like the custom builder here. Now let's see what you chose for the color. You want it in black, not too much RGB. And you did say price to performance. So we might not, I don't know if this is the right option then, but we'll try. There is a sale right now, and that does help. Well, they got the HS420. That is a premium case right there. But maybe NV5 might be the right option here. If you're OCD like me, different monitors side by side, especially different resolution size, irk me. Here's what I did, Tanmay, is I'll have a really nice, I like the TIE Fighter setup, and I'll have a really nice center monitor. I have right now in my main setup there, I have a 32-inch 4K monitor there, 4K 144 hertz. And then on the sides, I'll have like more budget-oriented vertical monitors, one on each side. But they match each other, but not the center monitor. They don't have to. They're vertically oriented. It wouldn't match anyway. What's up, Ghost Poner? How's it going? I don't know if I said hi to you earlier, but hi. You have the same color as for your name as Dan the Ninja, so I might have missed you earlier. But what's up? Okay, let's say NV5. Well, or the XT Pro Ultra, because you said not too much RGB, and this is really going to be a display for RGB right here. Just a mesh front panel or the XT View. I don't know. Let me ask you this. between these two cases, which do you prefer? That style right there, like the fish tank style, or do you prefer the mesh front panel style? Dan. Mesh front for sure. All right. Oops. Oh, let me see here. So you put here that you do want to be able to upgrade your CPU down the line. And you said you're doing light video editing right now. So here's what I would do. There he is. Mikey, what's the deal, man? I just realized I saw this before, and that's why I went to your site for this build. But like, what happened here? How could you just like send this to me after excluding me from this? Like, list all these people. Where's my name? Where's my code? Why would you just do that and then make sure I saw it? You made sure I knew. Well, it's still a code. It's still a code that people can use. It doesn't matter. I mean, people are going to use whichever one they want anyway, but still. Anyways, but we're going to try this. So with you wanting to be able to upgrade your CPU down the line and starting with pretty basic video editing, I'm going to probably go with a like 9700X. And by the time you get to the point where you're like, I want to do more complex video editing, we'll be in Zen 6. And you can upgrade that CPU. And according to a lot of leaks that are coming out right now, Zen 6 is probably going to be really good for video editing and productivity stuff. And for gaming and streaming, 8 cores, 16 threads is fine. Now, why not an X3D chip? Well, I know you put 1080p, but I'm going to recommend you go with a higher resolution. And that relies more on your GPU than your CPU. The 9700X is great for gaming. We have a more exclusive code break. I guess so. Yeah. We're on the secret menu. That's what I'm on. I'm on the secret menu. Now, if you didn't care as much about upgrading your CPU and you wanted to get into heavy video editing right now, I'd go to 265K. You're not looking to do that though, not yet. So I would say keeping you on socket AM5 to where you can upgrade to another AMD CPU down the line is probably going to be the right choice here. Yeah, we're like going in and out and getting the animal style. We're the secret menu that everybody that most people might know about if they're coming to your site. Well, at least if I haven't done a video for a while, so I do want to cover you guys a little more. But we did the review and that was cool. We did the unboxing and testing and all that. What a gorgeous PC you put together. You're the chili you can get in the cup. My little chili pepper. Thank you. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Moving on. You said not too much RGB. So Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. Any fitment issues with the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 in the XT Pro Ultra? Like thickness of the radiator, fans, that kind of stuff? Any fitment issues there that you've experienced? I don't know. It fits good. All right. I haven't built with that. So actually, oh man. That's a lot of RGB, though. I was going to say the Glacier one might be a good choice. So it's all the same RGB as the case, but it says on your forum not too much RGB. So, and also it's a good amount less. 137 versus 219. So we'll go with the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. We want to focus on, and don't worry about the installation fee. There is a big discount on that for the sale right now. Now let's try to put a solid motherboard in there. Nothing too crazy. I haven't looked at this one actually. Let me take a look at this guy. Hey, not bad, not bad. So here's the breakdown. That's what was in the one you reviewed. No, that one was white. It was a white motherboard. What are you talking about? Is this the version of that? Because I thought it was case cooler combo. Oh, okay. Fair enough. So here's how it breaks down. Dan, if you're... by the way, Dan, are you still here? You responded to the case a while back. I just want to make sure that I'm not screaming into the void right now. So you're going to see on the back of the motherboard, because you said you're new to this stuff, and for anyone else watching that might be curious, this is how this works. So you're going to have different colors of plastic tabs inside your standard USB Type-A ports, okay? And this has a good number of ports here. This is 10 USB Type-A and dual USB Type-C. This is quite good. There's 12 overall USB ports on the back. That's good. That is random. That is random. But it is 20 gigabit USB Type-C. So USB 3.2 Gen 2 by 2. Whatever. Anyways. So the ones that are on most motherboards, if it's a black plastic piece inside the USB port, it is USB 2.0. You want that for your keyboard, mouse, maybe your USB headset, things like that that don't require a lot of throughput. Now, the blue ones here are going to be for certain things like Elgato requires that you use USB 3.0 for your webcams, things like that. This is 5 gigabit per second. Certain devices need higher bandwidth. Now, the red ones, that's 10 gigabit per second, and that's for like external capture cards or things like that require a lot of bandwidth. And then Type-C is going to have super speed and then a little 10 next to it for 10 gigabit per second or 20 next to it for 20 gigabit per second. You can put things like Type-C hubs on there, things like that. But I mean, honestly, if you have a modern, like a newer capture card, external one, it's going to want one of these. It's going to be USB Type-C. And you want to put it in the fastest port that you have, if it's HDMI 2.1. And then you have Ethernet. If you're going to be streaming, you should be using Ethernet. Even if you have to go to Amazon and spend $18 to get a 100-foot Cat 6e Ethernet cable, you can do that, by the way, and that's a really good price for a 100-foot cable. Plus, some of those come with the things to mount them to the wall, so you're not tripping over them. Okay, run it on Ethernet if you're streaming. You should do that. But if you're using Wi-Fi, it is Wi-Fi 6E. This is a nice motherboard, though. You have PCI expansion slots, probably at least 4 M.2 slots on there. So yeah, this is a solid motherboard. So I would go with that right there. Oh, no, select. There we go. Now, for the most part, gaming and streaming, 32 gigs of RAM is fine. If you're going to get into serious video editing, though, at some point, 64 gigs is what you should do. But based on what you told me, if you're just uploading clips of you and your friends having fun playing some games, you don't have to worry about that. It's not going to be too RAM capacity intensive. So you can totally go with 32 gigs of RAM if you want to. You said not too much RGB, but this one that doesn't have RGB, it looks like, is 64 gigs. It's not what we're looking for. We do want the one that says AMD Expo, though. What's up, AJ? How's it going? Now, I'd rather spend $2,000 putting fiber optic in my walls than $18 on a 100-foot Ethernet cable. You're really going to have fiber optic devices in every room, though. That's fun. Okay, but Dan is still here. Okay. Joe Panico, what's up? I never understand why the Wi-Fi isn't on the top of the I/O other than for concealment. But then the antenna gets in the way of cables unless you have an antenna that sits on top. I always prefer the ones that sit on top that have the sort of wire coming off of them into your like mini coax connections. And a motherboard like this one's going to have something like that because if you just have the antennas that stick out of the back, your Wi-Fi signal, if the router is on the other side of the PC, that Wi-Fi has to get through all that interference. So if you have one of those and your motherboard doesn't have proprietary connectors on it for the Wi-Fi, you can get third-party antennas that connect, that have the wire, so you can position your antenna in a better place. Deme said you can daisy chain it from the GPU. Wait, what? I have my GPU being passed through to VMs, so I cannot just rely on GPU display outs for all my work. Okay. All right. You might be getting a little bit in the weeds there for Aaron there. I mean, they're not necessarily going to need more than 4 monitors. 32 gigs. Let me see where's just 32 gigs. DDR5. There we go. All right, there we go. 2 terabytes of storage should do the trick. We haven't picked a GPU yet. KC3000, no, 1 gig, no. I'm going to say 2 terabyte. 1 terabyte, no. I'm going to say 2 terabytes is what I would go with. It's just a lot of options. It's not like sorted by capacity or anything, so I'm just taking a bit here to find one that I like. That makes sense for this build. I guess this would work right here. There we go. Okay, GPU time. You can use the filter buttons at the top. I'm going to ask a potentially awkward question here, but for things like, because prices have come down quite a bit, there are some 5070 Ti's that are like $30 above the original announced MSRP. Is that just something that you haven't updated for a while? Because 5070 Ti is looking a little crazy there on the price. Is that just like the price you're getting them at? Or is it just something you haven't really looked at in a while because you can get them near MSRP now at some places. So I keep putting it off. The price difference between 10 gig Cat 8 cable and fiber optic is minimal, and the extra hardware is expensive AF. Fiber optic for like residential on the inside for the LAN, it doesn't make sense to me. Use that for your WAN connection for sure. Yeah, if you can. But I want a good U for gaming because my laptop was a 26 inch. A good U? You mean GPU for gaming? Yeah. If the card is $999, the list price will be $1138 on our site. Okay. I mean, I'm no stranger to part markup, but yeah, I mean, there's some out there that are like $780 now. Depending on where you're sourcing them from. PNY. Why don't you do a quick price check on just the most basic PNY 5070 Ti and see what that would come out to for you. Yeah, I'm never gonna shame a boutique builder for doing a part markup. You got to keep the lights on. Like, that's how that works. That's normal. 888. Okay. So that fits within the budget. That's good. So what I'll do here is I'll pick a like a $900 card if there is one. And I would suggest that one. That's going to be a much easier entry point for people. Because for me, for my money, if you have a PC that is for up to 4K gaming and any productivity, the 5070 Ti is the GOAT right now if you can get it for that decent price. Let me show you something real quick here. And I've showed this on stream a bunch of times. Okay, very well. Sounds good. But this is a 5070. This is Puget Bench here, okay? And this is their Premiere Pro test, okay? Now, the price difference between a 5070 Ti and a 5080 can be anywhere from $300 to $600. And this is the performance difference in Puget Bench. You really got to zoom in to see it. And for Adobe Premiere Pro, this is the performance difference for $300, $400, $500, $600 more. They both have 16 gigs of VRAM. In a lot of games, their performance can be somewhat close. When using a 5070 Ti, have never played a 4K game that it could not run. It is a beast. And now that prices have come down for it to where they're not, a lot of them were over $1,000 before. Now that the prices have come down on them quite a bit, there's, to me, not much reason to get a 5080 rather. Oh, hey, I'm not telling you to change your configurator, Mike. I'm not telling you to do that. I think maybe having one model that is at the lower range and then a more premium model does make sense. But that's my thing, though. It is hard for SIs to move with the quick changes that can happen in the market. I get that. That's why I never begrudge. That's why my question was straight. I said this could be a potentially awkward question, but have you updated your prices? And yeah, you can't just be sitting there updating every part, every price all the time. DLS and frame gen at 4K are useful. 100%. And people can hate on MFG all they want, Araxnus, but until you've seen it for yourself, don't make a judgment on it. It is kind of insane. And for 3.3 times the price, you can get a 5090. Yeah. For 3 times the price, this is the performance jump you get in Premiere Pro. Now, to be fair, this is the overall score. If you go to rendering graphics, so for the GPU effects, yeah, the 5090 pulls away. So does the 5080, right? But this person's not going to be doing much of that. Just for scrubbing raw footage on the timeline, it's like no difference. But this is why just this one measurement is what causes this jump right here. That's not necessarily worth 3 times the price unless you are making a lot of money editing video. Then you can justify it. Then it pays for itself over time. That is the customer for the 5090. Someone who's going to make money off of it. That's it. And even then, you better make sure you're going to get that ROI. We have an automated solution for price updating. We can do 400 plus parts in about 10 minutes. Wow. But for GPUs specifically, due to scarcity in the recent past, we've just been using average 90-day price on specific models. Typically Prime, Tough, Strix, Astral if applicable. I think, first off, PNY. When it comes to GPUs, PNY should be, I think, on everybody's list. And there is a very specific reason for this. NVIDIA chose them forever ago to make their professional cards. They've been making those cards, Quattro cards. Then you got your, like, now I don't think they're making, are they making, the Pro RTX 6000, RTX Pro, whatever 6000, however that name works out. I don't hardly look at that thing because it makes no sense for my audience. But that card is now an in-house card, and I have to wonder how PNY feels about that. But before that, it was all PNY. And that's the quality, like they make really solid GPUs. Falcon Northwest uses PNY. Indeed, absolutely. PNY Accelerate GTX 260 was my first GPU ever. They've been in the game for a long time. Zintech, in 2005 high school, I had a PNY USB. PNY USB? GPU? You mean GPU? Or do you mean USB drive? Like a USB thumbstick? Is that what you're saying? No, but yeah, Falcon Northwest does use PNY cards. So I'll pick the 5070 Ti here. It is going to it's going to be like overpriced by $250, but so that total is not correct. We still need a power supply. So really, the discounts you're getting should come in and put this under budget. And I would say for a 5070 Ti, something like an 850 watt power supply should do the job. If you want to sort of build for future upgrades as well, you can. But for this, you can go with 1,000 watts. Oh, wait, hold up. It's a difference of $8 to get the 1,000 watt power supply. I think I'll just do that. Yeah, we'll just do that. We don't need fans because you have 3 fans included with the case on the front, 1 included in the back, and you have an AIO with 3 fans included there, so we don't need to add any fans. So how do I do that to where there are no fans added? Just add 1. You can put 3 more on the bottom if you want. Okay. Okay. I would opt to have the thing to skip that, but that's okay. Okay. And look what. By the way, Mikey added these because of me. It's awesome. Thank you for doing that. And I like that you have UPSs as well. And also, y'all have some sick merch, to be clear. Oh, by the way, Michelle, hi. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. Unless I did, and I forgot that I did, but hi. So do the Founders Editions all go to SIs and influencers? Yeah, I guess so. But also to SIs mostly, and then you could sometimes get them directly, I suppose, but I never really tried. So here we would add to cart and see what this comes out to after discounts. So there's your discount on the, I'm not actually in optimal mode here. There we go. There's your discount right there for the sale right now. And then we would go in and put, also don't forget, this is about $250 over what you actually would pay for the GPU to get the PNY one. Where does my code go? I forget. Do we have to proceed? Proceed to checkout, probably. Discount code. Braithorn. So, I'll remove the fan. Oh, dang it. Did I just back out? I hope it's not going to delete everything. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so we are a little bit over budget. Now it looks like a lot, but it's not. It says $28.15, so you just subtract $250 from that. So let me see here. Why am I even looking for this? I mean, I could just figure it out, but I am. I hate that I'm not on my old PC sometimes. There we go. 2015 minus 250. 25. So we're 65 over budget. I think Breather might have a good segment in the near future. Not Breather, Braithorn. I hate auto text. A good segment. It came in super late. No worries. Hey, don't worry about it. It's okay. Aaron, a lot of people who watch on mobile have issues like that. Don't you worry about it. Remove the 5070 Ti. Okay. Is that light mode on the calculator? I guess. Is that a problem? I mean, I prefer dark mode all the time too, but all right, removing the 5070 Ti. There you go. Now, it wasn't exactly going to be the number I got because it's not exactly 250 less, but still. This is a solid build, though. So... Oh, okay. So I guess just add to cart. It's by the share cart button. I'm so confused right now. Oh, down there. How do I miss that? Okay. Oh, I said, okay. It was hiding from me. You can't blame me for that. Okay, 2483.97. Let's go here and refresh there. Look at that. The Breathorn code gets you $130 off here. Damn. So look at that. What did I tell you? Dan, are you still around? Now, Sick PCs builds a sick PC. If you're curious about that, Dan, I did a full unboxing and testing stream of one of their PCs. It's on the YouTube channel, and you can check all that out. But yeah. So that's the code that gets you $130 off the build. We also live stream and post the build videos on YouTube. There you go. Yeah, if you saw some of the build I was doing earlier, think like that, but, you know, your build instead of somebody else's. Oh, Brad, did you get a chance to check that motherboard link I sent yesterday? AJ, I did not. I had not had a chance to see it yet. I do want to look at that. And there you go. Oh, is this a PC building company in chat? It is. That's Sick PCs right there. You know we get that now and then. It's always nice. I'm usually here. These are my working hours. Same. I ended up introducing him to KVMs. My man could now access 3 computers on a single display without having to fiddle around. I need to talk to Wendell about a KVM. I need to talk to Wendell in general. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I did consider pre-built, but like money plus the good ones don't ship to New Zealand. That's fair. That is fair. I'm sure there are some Australian ones that'll ship out there, but like, it's fair that you know it's a well-known, well-documented thing that building it yourself will usually save you money, unless we're in a true GPU shortage, because then scalpers make sure that SIs have the best deals, essentially. Michelle said XL. Is it because of the... Y'all got flashbang by this? Just on your screen? Just... Sorry about that. There we go. That helps. Of course, I wear bright colors and have a bright set, but... Well, not that bright, I guess. I realized something, though. I realized I probably have too much stuff on my pegboard there. It's too crowded. I need to put some of those tools away. There's a lot of them I don't just rarely use. Shipping to New Zealand would be about $500 for us, plus $300 to $600 in import fees. Oh, Jesus. Oh, last trading setup. Oh, I was talking to when Michelle Melton said XL is what I was talking about. Last trading setup I saw had like 5 pre-built computers all crunching data in XL. That's why Michelle said XL. With 7 displays, 3 TVs, and rest were all monitors. Yeah, KVM. That's a KVM situation right there. It'd be half my price in just shipping, importing. Yep, that's the reality of it. And you guys wonder why when I do a PC giveaway, I mean, I have a hard enough time just shipping a PC in the US, just getting that out the door. The cost of shipping internationally, that's why when I do a PC giveaway, it's like US only. And even then, it's just, I'm very bad about them. For one reason or another. But yeah, there you go. That's Dan the Ninja. Also, a.k.a. Dan the Racker, but not any longer. Now the Ninja. There you go. But yeah, so be sure to use that coupon code. It's $130 back in your pocket there. And you are getting a big discount on the build fee. Maybe pick up some merch and stuff because there's a big discount on that right now. Till the 30th, guys. The sale for sick PCs goes on until July 30th. The 30th of July. Had to go through lots of the profits I made from my recent flips and back to shipping and RMAing parts. Yeah, get yourself some sick merch. Mikey, thank you for adding that GPU. And honestly, it just makes the 5070 Ti more available and more accessible because, I mean, that's a pretty solid discount off of that. It's my favorite GPU of the current generation right now. It is just, again, in 4K gaming with pretty high settings on everything, it just ran so well. There's a sick merch shipped to NZ. New Zealand. I wonder what the print shop would say if I gave them an NZ address. Thanks so much, Bray. It put double of everything. It put double of everything. Okay, because I removed all the extras. Sorry about that. Now it comes out to the price you're saying. So again, thanks so much. Why did it do that? I don't know. But thank you for fixing that yourself. I appreciate that. But yeah, enjoy that PC. It's going to be awesome. Forgot to clear your cart before adding the build. Probably. Sorry. I was doing it with you, so that's probably why. Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. I got to get a clear cart button on there just for you. I mean, that's not that weird of a thing to have in your cart, I would say. Am I weird for thinking that? I don't know. I mean, I know I'm weird, but am I weird for thinking that? That was fun. This was a fun stream, even though I didn't get to help many people directly. I do apologize for that. Spent a lot of time on this build, but you guys, this is what I'm gonna do. I do get PC hardware that I can't necessarily use, and I don't always do giveaways. So here's a thing, a reality that I want to share with you here. Giveaways are fun and they're cool until they're over, and then everyone that entered it except for one person is disappointed. But I'm still going to do them as a point of, like, if the company wants to do a giveaway, I'm going to do one. But there's certain SIs who would just be like, just do whatever you want with the PC. And that stuff just sits around unless I'm replacing my primary PC with it, because it's a big upgrade for me. So there's some PCs around like that. There's also some stuff where I've bought things here and there and I'm not using them. So I have PC parts and PCs that I'm just going to be getting rid of. The thing is, it's kind of critical right now because it's getting harder and harder to continue without accepting one of the sysadmin job offers I get now and then. Okay? I want to keep doing this full time. So I can do a giveaway here and there that is not going to, it's just going to be hype for a little bit, and then everybody kind of gets disappointed. And there's still going to be PC giveaways, to be clear, because they can be really fun, okay? And what I'm going to try to do when I do PC giveaways is have smaller prizes and more of them too, so that it's not just one person that wins, because that genuinely makes me feel kind of bad, okay? At the end of a giveaway, it's like a feeling of just like, I don't know. But if I can sell a PC now and then, it keeps me doing this. So I'm either going to do it to where I take a commission to build a PC from scratch out of some of the stuff I have maybe already, but really what helps me a lot is if it's one that was given to me by a company, and then basically it's an injection of funds for me to keep doing what I'm doing. Like, I wouldn't have been able to go to Computex without this one that I did here. Period. Like, it directly supports what I do. So if there are any upgrades to do on one that's already built, then I'll do them live on stream so that whoever's buying it can see that. And I'm gonna basically get that other one out, check its status, make sure everything's good on it, and because I store them well, I keep them secure and safe and everything if I'm not using it. And I'm gonna make sure everything's good on it, and then just post it up on the Discord. Anyone who wants to get it can get it. If they want upgrades, they let me know, pay for the upgrades, and done. Why does every company use Shopify? Oh, just a stupid Shopify app. I'm working on developing our own version. Fair. I'm so surprised ShareCart doesn't overwrite your cart. I was missing some chat stuff. Why does every company use Shopify? Yeah, it streamlines everything for you. Easy to use, but once you're in it, it's difficult to get it set up how you want, and you have to do what Sick PC is doing to develop your own. There you go. Also, one last thing. I was wondering what to do when the PC comes. Well, Dan, I've got a video just for that, which is how to set up your new gaming PC. Let me give you a link. It is, I think at this point, my most viewed video on YouTube. And that makes me happy because my potentially previous most viewed video on YouTube was a very negative one about an SI that shut down. And I don't like that being my biggest video. One sec. Ah, we're so close. We are so close. So here, how to set up your new gaming PC. I need a better thumbnail than this. I don't like this thumbnail that much. But look at that. 280K for this one for light gaming PCs, and then 257K on this. Keep going. This is still, like, this one's growing a lot faster than, like, this one's not really getting views anymore because that company shut down. So, but yeah, this is the video. Let me give you a link. Doesn't matter who you... I love the intro for this. It's quite good. It's a good video. It's like, how many comments does this have? This has 426 comments on it. Yeah. It's a good video. This is a little bit more elaborate than plug it in and play. Because there's going to be things like, wait, where do I plug in my monitor cable? Do I plug it into the one that's up high or the ones that are down at the bottom? I show you that. I show you how to do that. Also, some SIs will ship you a PC and have the GPU in its own box so it doesn't get damaged in shipping. I show you how to install it if that's the case. All these little things on getting it set up physically. I need to eventually make one where it's like, how do you get started with Windows and get it set up, and a few little tips and tricks to get that going. But really, at that point, it's just install Steam, put your games in there, and you're good to go. Xeno, go for it. Absolutely. Honestly, I hate nickel and diming all the platforms to get what, in my mind, should be basic features. Sort, filter, nah. Are you talking about Shopify? It's what I started with not knowing anything. There are a ton of restrictions that you have to work around. I had too many hours in my proprietary solutions to make it worth switching to another platform. That was me with my old OBS install and why I didn't want to restart from scratch. Joe Panigo, thank you for saying you enjoyed the stream. But yeah, anyways. Hi. Okay, so let's see here. Only if he's okay. He is dressed up. Okay. All right, guys. One of my favorite content creators is streaming right now. That is Manly Reviews, Liam, Manly Reviews. And he's streaming Resident Evil 4, and he's kind of dressed up. He doesn't have the wig on this time, which is very unfortunate. But we're going to go ahead and raid Manly Reviews. Please stick with me. If you like channel points, I'm working on new channel point redemptions. But if you stick around for the raid, and I'm talking to people on Twitch. I don't do raids on YouTube. They don't really have a good thing for that. And if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to click the link in the description to join on the Twitch channel for the raid. But if you stick with me through the raid, you get a channel point bonus. I forget that all the time. So now I'm telling you because I remembered. So we're going to raid Manly Reviews. This was a fun stream, though. I can't wait to get this PC shipped off. I have a couple PCs to ship off, actually. And that's going to be good. But for those who hung out for the stream, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on Sunday for the next gaming stream. We started playing Wind Waker, and it is my first time playing The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I freaking love Zelda, and I never played that game because I never had a GameCube, and I never played the HD remake. It is so far very fun, but we're not very far into it. We just played a little bit after I finished Tears of the Kingdom. So, join me on Sunday on Twitch at around 8 p.m. Central, just on Twitch channel. But yeah, if I can have you guys join me on the Twitch channel coming from the YouTube channel, if you want to join for the raid, it'd be super fun. And this guy is really cool. A quick reminder, though, as I'm starting this, is I arbitrarily, back in the day, chose to not cuss on stream and stuff. I don't know why. I cuss in real life, like all the time. But other streamers don't give themselves that same restriction. If you're uncomfortable with that, please keep that in mind. Especially with this guy. Potty mouth. But genuinely awesome dude with an awesome YouTube channel. You should totally subscribe to that. Let's go ahead and jump over. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shoot me an email if you have any other questions. Oh, that's for Dan. All right. Damn. I say that all the time, Dodger. That's not true cussing IMO. And of course, for my YouTube audience as well, thank you guys for watching so much. I will catch y'all later. Until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!